What's up, everybody? Turn that music down a little bit. I see a bunch of people are in the chat now. Rodrigo needed a pee-pee break, so we're a little late. But yeah, man, it's a great way to support us. Go to Third Pin Threads. This is actually the loop that was playing on the stage at our concert Saturday night. Pretty sick. But that's enough of that. So super excited about tonight. We had a monumentous weekend last weekend. Kalash Bash in its 7th year, 2025. It was awesome. The highest attendance we've ever had, the most amount of vendors we've ever had, the most amount of vehicles we've ever had. Probably the coolest concert we've ever had. It was awesome. And the highest value prize table we've ever had. A lot of firsts this year, a lot of high water marks. So we thought it would be really cool to bring on some guys that were there, some guys that helped put it on, and some guys that were just attending, and all talk about some of the craziness that went down. So we've all cultivated some stories, and on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, I actually asked all of you guys, the viewers that went to KB, to give us your best KB story, and we've got some good ones. Some of you chose to remain anonymous, and that was probably wise. I've got those stories here too. So let me go ahead and get everyone on that's going to join us here tonight. I got Jacob with Gun Quality Enforcement.
What's up, everybody?
I got Tony with Kyber Customs. I got Mark with Fit and Fire. And Jesus Cristo with H-Town Werewolf.
What's up, guys? Woo!
Man, how's everyone feeling tonight? What's everyone drinking, by the way? It's a Saturday night.
Cayman Jack Margarita.
Yeah, freaking staple ultras.
I'm doing some tequila. Or actually, this is what is this? Yeah, it's tequila.
You know you should drink it.
I'm being a big pussy and drinking water. Hydrating still.
Yeah. It's good. It's good.
Next up is a Paloma, whatever that is. I don't even know what this is.
Stay away from those, Jacob.
All right, I'll drink the next.
Those are penny droppers.
So real quick, there's probably some people watching that don't know who some of you fellas are. So why don't we have a little round table? I'll start. My name's Clay. I make fart noises on the internet. All right, Jacob, you go now.
I'm Jacob. I'm Gun Quality Enforcement, and that's it. Your turn.
Tony.
These nuts.
What's up, everyone? I'm Tony. I've got a couple AK businesses that I dabble with. One of them being Kyber Customs, another one being co-partners with Clay with Third Pin Threads, and co-partners with Clay at Kalash Bash and Lethal Weapons. Had an amazing weekend, and I look forward to talking about all the stories from everybody that was out.
Just so serious, Tony. Golly.
Marky Mark.
Yeah. So Mark Fit and Fire, aka
Kermit. Do you have your Kermit?
Kermit. No, I don't. It's in the other room, man. I should have got it. aka Bullet Magnet, I guess, and we'll talk about that. And like you said, man, this is freaking, in my opinion, best year ever, man. Best year ever.
Jesus Cristo.
Hey guys, H-Town Werewolf. I also make fart sounds on my videos, so go check them out.
No, you totally do. I think he's the first one to have like a post KB wrap up video, one of the first. And I'm watching it, and I think I counted like 30 fart noises.
Dude, every time he had me on his video, it was a fart noise.
We're eating pizza, brother.
Yeah, that's right.
You had to get that zoom in on my butt after our last stage, man. That was like, what are you doing, man?
I was hoping you popped at the seams. I was like,
I know.
Man, is this kind of pop?
It was really close. It was like the threads were like this.
You bought your 511s at Baby Gap, bro. What do you expect?
Oh my god.
Let me knock out a couple of these. There's already a few super chats. I see Davrinoff's in the chat. Bro, you got to come to a KB once. Next year has to be the year. So we got to get them down there. We really tried to get Tango Tactical. He makes those rigs. He's in America now, which is awesome. Ice did not like the idea of him coming to KB, so unfortunately we couldn't make that happen, but maybe next year. Who else we got here? I saw a couple more. Oh, Delta Tech's here. Delta Tech the Bear. They had a booth out there.
Yeah, man, boy. That was talking to him was funny. He was like, I drove what was it, like 1,100 miles, and he didn't have none of his product. He's like, well, I'll just sell stickers.
Yeah, it was like these two gigantic guys dressed like bears wearing Adidas. It was pretty cool.
It was awesome. It was cool meeting them.
And we got Dan Booker running on a treadmill, drinking a Dr. Pepper, watching. Dan was great, man. Dan jumped in and helped us with the match award ceremony Sunday. He's always great. And James, both of those guys, thick as thieves.
Oh, James.
And he was in the mosh pit.
Oh, that's right. He was holding up a dry erase board, scoring people.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Really appreciate him and James jumping in on Sunday, too.
Yeah.
Tonto's here at a restaurant about 5 ranch waters deep.
Oh, nice. Speaking of Tonto, he's been messaging me. And earlier he said, man, I'm going to miss the live stream. I said, well, that sucks because you made the thumbnail. And I sent it to him. And he goes, damn. So he's going to a concert tonight. His concert starts at 8:45. So he's literally going to watch the live stream until the last second before the concert starts.
Hell yeah.
Is he in the comments?
Yeah, he's in there.
So
I think his name is Ace Flacco, right?
Yeah, Ace Flacco.
Yeah, on here he goes by Gabriel Couliar. I don't know, something Rodrigo can pronounce.
Dude, he was kind of the star of the show. At
Cuellar.
So So he did everything from so that for people that don't know, there were two guys. In fact, they're like if you look right above my head, they're right here. And there, this is the thumbnail of the video. So there was a Tonto and a Lone Ranger, and this guy never broke character. He was walking around calling everyone Kimosabi, and he was giving everyone whimsical knowledge from the Great Mystery, and he was handing out arrowheads to everybody. It was awesome. And I even saw the dude walk across the fire pit on his moccasins. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
But I've got a video of it. Let me just pull that up. My man never changed. And mind you, by Saturday night, the temperature dropped. It was super windy. What do you think the guys? It was like 50 degrees outside.
50s.
Yeah, at least because I did not
below
prepare.
50. Yeah.
He
So,
definitely was in spirit animal territory
Yeah.
with that commitment.
It was weird though because he had those inverted nipples, so you couldn't tell he was cold.
But he moshed the entire night through 2 sets, wearing no shirt, full character, knocking dudes over, full energy. This dude was honestly
Look at Opossum in there.
awesome. Yeah, I mean, look at this guy, full headdress, the whole thing.
You know what's so
so
funny?
cool.
At one point when he did that, he walked up to me and handed me his phone and asked me to record him. So I was like literally recording him for like 2 minutes while he just ran around in the mosh pit. And I was like, all right, I think I got, substantial video footage of you, but I got to be cameraman for him for a little bit.
Yeah, that was great. He was awesome.
Yeah, he was.
He and the Lone Ranger, they had like the horse head on a stick, so they'd ride in between stages on their horse the whole time.
Boy, I would not have enough energy for that.
They actually won. Was it the best lawman? I think it was the best lawman. So the Lone Ranger won it because of his trusty sidekick Tonto, and they ended up taking home a gun this year. So that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
And he bought a pretty sick pipe with him.
Oh yeah, the big pipe.
We didn't get to pass that shit around next time.
He did have a peace pipe, smoking that peyote, that great sacred herb.
There it is,
Oh,
right
there
there.
it
Oh damn!
It did like a pro. Look at this guy.
Tastes delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think the torch lighter fits the LARP, but I'll accept it. It was pretty windy outside.
Right. It should have been like a hot coal.
If his tent would have been a teepee, I would have died.
That'd have been awesome.
Dude, it was so good. And there's so many great pictures of him all weekend long. So this is him. What's really funny is this stage required you to actually scalp people, appropriating some culture. And wouldn't you know it, this guy shoots the stage and literally pulls out his tomahawk and starts scalping the dummies.
The tomahawk was the pipe. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
The sacred peace pipe was
Nice.
also his tomahawk.
Fuck
Got to
yeah,
shoot
that's
from
awesome.
horseback. Like, dude, he had a great time. Yeah, Daniel Knife Man. I wish someone would have LARPed as Daniel Knife Man if you like Reservoir Dogs.
Oh yeah.
Man. At the end of the video, it's worth it. It pays off. But dude, like by Sunday, it was cold. Like KB happened, crazy weather, cold snap came through, and there were some people whose LARP required them to dress like this. I never saw the guy put a jacket on. For 2 days, he walked around like this.
Dude, last year was so hot too.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
holy crap.
We were stressing for about 2 weeks, or like it's going to shit on us and be hot and sticky and gross and muddy. We ended up getting the exact opposite. Cold,
dude,
windy,
watch that
dry, just,
If that ain't
perfect for
committing
video
to the LARP,
pictures.
I don't know what is, dude. My man just walked on hot coals.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Anyway, so before we get too deep into it, so Tony and I, we actually like co-produce the event. So we're the ones booking vendors, we're handling logistics, we're booking the tents and the bathroom trailers. Rachel this year is booking all of our help, our staff, our food, dissidents doing the match. So we're involved on the back end. Rodrigo this year had a huge role helping produce the event. He's become a project manager. So, he's out there building all week long. And then Saturday and Sunday, he's on the PA system telling everyone, the hot and cold sessions. He's sending people around for water and ice and trash cans and all that. he was basically what I've been doing every year before this. Rodrigo has helped me out tremendously where I can be more involved with KB. So he's kind of got a unique perspective this year. He got to kind of be at KB and shoot the match and enjoy it a little bit, but he also got to work it quite a bit. And Mark and Jacob were there as attendees having fun. So I think we all got to see just about every bit of the event inside and out. So I got some stories that if you were an attendee, you probably don't know about that we'll get into a little bit later. But I figured we'd maybe go around a little bit and tell some of our own stories and then get into some of the submitted stories on our social post. And then I'm sure some people will drop some in the comment section below. Not saying that you guys should do this. You can literally tip 99 cents. But if you do have an awesome story, put $1 on it, something where I can see it and I'll pinpoint it and we can share it a little bit later. So Jacob, would you like to start, sir?
Sure. Man, so as I'm sure a lot of you already know, I ran the DP. Wait, how do you do this? The DP 28 this year with the pizza, and boy, I tell you what,
Crushed it.
huh?
Crushed it, man.
Oh, thanks, man. Dude, I was by the last stage, which I think was stage 2 for us. My left arm got so weak, like I could not hit that 100-yard steal to save my life because it was just constantly moving. But man, Possum, who's in the chat, like he's like the best hype man on a squad, like constantly just yelling, like it was hilarious. Like every video I post, you can hear in the background either hell yeah or homo or or something in the background. Like it was awesome. This is probably one of the funnest. It's probably the funnest one I've been to so far. Like I went to Kalash Bash last year and Lethal Weapons. Like this, I think this tops it all so far.
You attribute that to your just the squad and all that?
Yeah, just like the squad was so like I don't know. Everybody, we just had such a good time. Like I guess I don't know if it would have been like I was saying if I was on a different squad. I'm sure it would have been, but like I don't know. Just everybody just love you, bro. Yeah, it was just a good time. It really was a good time. Made it fun, and then we had like a new guy. Like I was telling Clay earlier, we had a new guy on the squad. His first match ever. And we all go from like taunting each other to like whenever he's up there, we're all like, yeah, you're doing great. So it's like it's kind of cool to see the camaraderie, I guess, and the support for new shooters.
Mm-hmm. Hey, speaking of Possum, Possum's got a great story about his involvement in Kalash Bash, and I think a lot of people probably know it, but some people maybe don't. Should we just give like the Cliff Notes version of Possum and he's got a lifetime membership to Kalash Bash. He's the only one that will ever have that.
Oh,
right. Like, so the deal was back in 2019 when we were doing the very first Kalash Bash, we were on a live stream. It was Clay, myself, and Herrera. Who else was it? Was it anyone else?
I think it was just the three of us.
And we were drunk. We had been drinking. And we threw a stupid idea out there. And it was like, hey, if someone was willing to get their ass tattooed, all these different logos, maybe we'd give them a free gun. And immediately the comment section of the live stream was like, done, deal, right? And we're like, oh, shit, I think people are going to cash that check. Someone's going to force us to cash that check. And I think the first person who hit the DMs was Possum. Was that right, Clay?
Yep. And he was commenting live, like as we were live.
Right. Yeah. I think he was the first DM that came through and we were like, you know what? If anyone, then this is it. Right. And the deal was if you do it, you get a gun out of the deal and a lifetime, basically a lifetime match ticket to Kalash Bash. Like he'll never have to pay. As long as we're doing Kalash Bash, you'll see him there shooting the match. He's like our employee of the month, basically, but for the life of it. And that was the deal that we made Possum. And it's funny because there's like other parts of the story. Maybe this can be like later on, Clay, but like, his wife at the time, remember she came out to Kalashmas and we did the whole like unveiling and shit. That was like so much fun, but we'll have to definitely like tell the story of Possum, the whole thing and how that all came to be. The regrets, no regrets rifle.
Yeah. If you were there at the award ceremony, you're well aware. The butt tattoo.
That was one of the conditions too, was you can't ever cover up the tattoo. And at any given time, it doesn't matter where we are, we could be out at a restaurant and randomly running into him and say, "Possum, let's see that ass." And so it just worked out just like perfect. Couldn't have been a better person to show their ass on stage on Saturday night. So thank you for that, Possum.
I don't know if Clark has a picture of his butt tattoo on his many different Instagrams, of which there are like 5.
There was a picture I got posted, though, like a really good DSLR image of his ass.
Yeah, if someone can find that, DM it to me. I'll share it to the stream.
I have one zoomed in.
I got to
Oh, do you?
figure you
Yeah,
got
send
to
it
have
to
some
me.
like prime real estate in there, Possum. Like, I mean, like you're running out of space back there. You got one cheek left.
I was gonna say, dude, we haven't even gotten on the right cheek yet.
I know.
Actually, I think I deleted it because it was
Is
hard
it-
to explain it to Marisol.
Like,
I was like, no, I swear it's a potato.
Yeah. Wait, which group chat was it in? Someone zoomed up on it, and someone posted a picture of a potato right next to it, and it looked
That was
exactly.
Oh
me.
yeah, that's what that was. I didn't know what that was at first.
Which group chat was that in? We got to get a screenshot of that. That was so
I
good.
think that was this screen. No, that was. one
It's
of
in our Fellowship of the Rim chat, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's in that
Yep.
one.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I posted it up next to a potato.
Oh, that's right. Mark
I was
Krebs
trying to cover
literally,
my butt.
Krebs literally posted it on his Instagram page.
dude, he's got the best posts. Good guy.
Good guy.
Good guy.
Yeah, it must have disappeared. I don't see it no more on there.
Oh man, he must. Oh no, here it is. Here it is.
Yes.
There's Mark. This is literally on the Krebs custom page, by the way. But yeah, so I know it's probably a little small on your screens, but I'll point it out. So right in this, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. Tell me if you can see my mouse on the screen.
Cannot.
Nope.
But if you look really close, you can see we have Krebs Custom, we have Pulnar Tactical, RS Regulate, Possum. I don't know who's hiding under your T-shirt there. Maybe you can let us know. And below that, you have Kalash Bash 2019 with the Kyber Customs, Clayco, and Brandon Herrera logo with no regrets. Horribly misspelled. It says no regrets. And he has to show it any time we ask. Anytime. So it comes out a lot.
It looks like Dissident's got a logo on there too.
Drunken Gunsmith just said, "My wife just walked in and saw this up on my screen. And I don't know how to explain it."
First, pull your pants up, put your dick away, and then explain it.
So in our group chat, someone shared this, and then Rodrigo found a picture of a potato and sat it right next to the butt cheek, and it looked exactly the same.
I don't know why it's not popping up for me no more. Damn it.
You must have like
remember what
age
chat it was.
restriction. This is like for adults only.
Yeah.
Possum, thank you for your service. Thank you for all that you do, dude. It was so funny up on stage. I know you shared this, Clay, as one of your funny moments, but the guitar player from I believe it was the Rage Band. The guitar player was like down there messing with his pedal board, and then all of a sudden, Possum like smashes a fucking beer and it just shoots everywhere. And
Oh,
the guitar
bro.
player kind of jumped up, like, "What the fuck?"
Dude, I'm standing next to Possum, and he's got a beer, and the crowd's going, "Shotgun it, shotgun." He's like, Possum's looking at me, and I'm like, "Don't make a mess," because we're like, the stage is kind of small, and he kind of looks back at the crowd, and he looks back at me. I'm like, "You can do it, but don't make a mess." And he goes, "Huh." Shotguns it, and the foam just sprays the guitarist that's taking the setlist to the floor, and he goes, "I'm sorry." Like, God damn it, dude! I said don't make a mess. And now we just pissed off the band.
I think they get it. The band gets it now, dude. I got some amazing texts from the bands. They're like, the Freaks on a Leash band, the guy that's our point of contact there texts me, and he's like, "Bro, we've never done a thing like that before. That was really special." So the bagpipes, the whole thing, I think they fucking crushed it.
That was awesome.
Yeah, the bagpipes are cool.
I know we got JD Vance in the chat.
Oh, is he here?
Gosh, dude, their stage, the with Mario shooting the fucking Nerf gun, that was
That was hilarious, dude. That was perfect. Like, you could not ask for a better. Like, it was just so awesome.
And I guess that wasn't planned.
No, it wasn't, because Mario, I think, as far as I know, because he just walked up and grabbed it and was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do this."
Yeah. Someone posted a video of him up on stage when it was like gun, 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 and they like jumped over him. He's like, I'm okay. That was so awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, his on Mark's podcast, dude.
Oh,
That was hilarious. Dude,
Oh,
you can
man.
have that. Can you pull that up, Clay? Because that was awesome.
Oh yeah. Someone asked him about Serbia, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Frankly, I don't even care about Serbia. It sounds like a made-up country, like Bosnia. Not worried about Serbia.
I think I got it
I'm
right
worried
here. I
about
must have-
hardworking Americans."
You know, was that his first Kalash Bash? So I thought I heard
think
him
that's what he
say that it was
said.
his first time there.
Yeah, that's what he said. It was his first one.
I mean,
just
think
said-
about that for a minute, dude. Guy rolled out, hella LARPed out, first time out, nailed it. Fuck, dude. Big high five to that guy, for sure.
Dude, he even had the bandage on his ear Saturday night when he was in the crowd.
Oh yeah. Hey, Clay, I just sent you the video on your Instagram.
I'm signed into the KB page.
Oh,
Send it to the KB page.
All right.
For some reason, I don't know why StreamYard started doing this, but if I play Instagram, it doesn't play the sound, which is
Oh damn.
Even if you click on the little audio icon there, it doesn't do it.
Even if I click on the little audio icon.
And we're gonna get it from
Oh, it worked.
everywhere.
We're hearing it.
Oh,
Except
you got it.
China.
Okay, well, I can't hear
Steel
it. So at least
case
you guys can
ammo.
hear it, so
Can't
that's
find
cool.
it anywhere
Yeah,
now.
we can hear it.
Couldn't find it the last 4
I love the
years.
way he
That's
handles
gonna change. We're gonna have it again. It's going to be great. It's going to be the absolute best ammo you could ever shoot. And we're gonna get it from everywhere. Except China. Steel case ammo. Can't find it.
Yeah, that's good. So it looks like this was his first Kalash Bash. He was at Lethal Weapons last year, so
Oh,
very
that's
cool.
right. Yeah, he mentioned that. Yeah.
So we do have a plan for that. And
Oh, yeah.
It's going to involve.
I can't wait to hear this podcast. I love the KB Campsite podcast. They're so good.
Importing spam cans of 545 again. Senate
I mean, there are literally people that don't just dress a certain way. They stay in character. Tonto, Donald Trump. You couldn't catch this guy when he was dressed up like this, not talking like Donald Trump. While he was shooting the match, everything.
We need some help with Serbia. All right, can you help us with Serbia?
Here.
Serbia isn't even a thought in my brain. I don't care about Serbia. I don't even know what it is. It sounds like a made-up country like Bosnia or something.
Well,
Dude, he nailed it, dude.
Pretty
He
good.
did. He
Yeah,
did.
you nailed it, dude. High five. Big high five on that.
When he talks about his KR 103, it was just
Yeah,
it was
that was good
awesome.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I ran a KR 103. It was absolutely amazing. I don't know how they
No.
fucked up that business model.
How many guys regret the I Heart AK Guy tattoo? I love that he corrected it and still left a gaze in there. And the drunken gunsmith with $1. Thank you, sir. Yeah, he was awesome. So Rachel and I were driving around trying to find like people in costume, and someone told us you got to go see Donald Trump's entourage. They were in the match. So I drove the golf cart into the jungle run stages, and I see him from a mile away. And we get up there, and they're literally like getting ready to shoot. And I walk up, and they instantly get in character. And he's like, "Clay, you talk about 545." Just goes on this rant, right? Filming the whole thing. Meanwhile, they're getting someone up on that horse to get ready to shoot the stage, right? So he's going through this whole thing, and you hear the beep go off. Beep! Someone starts shooting. They're like, "Mr. President, gun, gun, gun!" And they dive on him as the guys start to shoot the match. I'm like, this is good. That's committing to the LARP.
Listen, look at the comment here. It says he wouldn't even break character when they were eating lunch. I can imagine him in the mirror, like by himself, like method acting. He's like, I'm committed, for the next 30 days to
Dude,
this.
Joe from Stenzel told me the best story about these guys. So Joe calls me after it. He calls me after the event, and he says, "So the Trump guy never broke character." He's like, I said, "I'm aware." He goes, No. Like, me and my buddy were in your bathroom trailer pissing, and one of the Secret Service guys walks into the bathroom and starts like checking stalls. And like starts kind of like looking into like the urinals, checking around, and Joe's like looking over his shoulder, going, "Oh shit!" And the guy's like opening cupboards, He makes eye contact with Joe, holds his earpiece, opens the door, and says, "Mr. President, the bathroom is not clear."
Damn.
Fuck, dude, that is so good. Oh man.
And I can tell you that they stayed 2 vehicles over from me in the overland section. Never saw them out of character until after the concert. That was the first time I ever saw him. But then he was walking around with the Cheeto paste all on his face.
Hey, you know what? It paid off. They ended up winning the group LARP.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you gotta respect it.
Oh,
man.
and
Gotta respect that.
Dissident reposted my video and then tagged Donald Trump Jr. in it.
Yeah. Yep. And it was cool that they won too, but you can also see just above Jacob, you got the 3 amigos, and those guys, they got up on stage and sang.
They did the whole musical number from the movie.
Yes.
Verbatim. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, applause to them too, because it was pretty close on who was going to win that.
Pretty crazy.
It was funny with all the dancing and shit going up there. I don't know if y'all saw, but I had to like keep my hand behind them so they didn't like crash into the drum set. So like a couple times in their dance moves where they're like hitting cymbals, I'm like, okay, this is about to be bad. I'm just gonna stand right here and hold them.
So, Mark, surely you can kick us off with a good story.
I got several good stories. I mean, I got 3 solid ones, but I'm going to start with the last one first because I think it's freaking hilarious. It's Saturday night, and this is when it's starting to get really windy. It's already windy, but then you get the wind gusts and everything. And Brandon Herrera is over hanging out with us at my little campsite. First year I brought up the trailer, which is really cool. It's a new setup that I really, really like. And so Brandon's hanging out. He and I are talking YouTube stuff and contacts with YouTube and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, this freaking 10 by 10 tent just goes hurling through the air and then impales itself. I got a picture. Impales itself on top of a Land Rover.
Oh, damn.
And a rooftop tent. And freaking my buddy Doug gets the best picture of Brandon just the shit-eating grin on his face, man. Freaking, it was the 10 by 10 was the tent from AK Every Day. He had his whole setup going on, and he does it every year. It's a great setup. He's got the lights flash with the music that he's playing and everything. He makes really good food. And then we had the rain early on Saturday, which softened the ground, and they were just using the little 6-inch tent pegs, stakes, and it wasn't strong enough for the wind, and the wind just picked it up and flinged it. Anyway, yeah,
That's crazy.
I couldn't.
Dude, shout out to Doug for being an awesome camp goer.
Yeah, oh yeah, man.
Dude, that guy, I've seen him only time I ever see him is at KB, and it's like meeting best friends again after like a year, dude. It's just
he came rolling in. He's like, hey Mark, what do you need? Because I got it all. I had the campsite all set out. I'm going to put myself right here. Doug's going to come in and park right next to me. I'm going to have a 10 by 10 right behind Doug, and then my buddy RJ, which was his very first time out here. He was in the quick draw competition, lost to JD Vance. We had all of those, and then Jose, he parked in front of RJ. So we had this whole little group and everything, and then Doug just comes out and he's like, "Hey man, I got steaks. I mean, who wants a steak?" He's just like Oprah, you get a steak and you get a steak.
Dude, Overland was locked up. Like when I drove past Overland Saturday night, I was like, "There's no getting out of here." Like everyone was all
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was where the party was at for sure.
Yeah.
By the way, huge shout out to all the people in Tent City whose tents did not blow away. Like considering how much wind we got, I heard that someone converted their tent into a nightclub.
What?
Yep.
There was a nightclub.
They had smoke machines, techno, and a huge TV screen just like projecting visuals.
Oh,
And it was this big black tent that looked like a stagecoach. He had wheels on all four corners, but you walked in and there was a straight up duded up cowboy in there, shirt tucked in, cowboy hat. And he was
checking
like,
IDs at the door.
oh, he was like hitting the button on the smoke machine, freaking jamming. And it was so funny because I walk in there and I see lassos kind of in the corner, like legit. You could tell they're real deal lassos. And I'm like, man, is that for like decoration? He's like, nah, man, I do that for a living. It's like, you're like a real deal cowboy. He's like, yeah, I lasso stuff for a living, dude. Like, so a real deal cowboy that literally like lassos calves and shit for a living had a club, a literal nightclub built out of a stagecoach at the campsite. It's pretty cool.
So I'm going to propose a motion here in light of the fact that like Camp Kalashnikov has kind of taken on this new life where people are like going big production with their tents. And it's like now this thing where everyone's floating around and doing everything. I was telling Clay, I was like, maybe we should change it from Camp Kalashnikov to Club Kalashnikov. It's like change the sign there.
Oh, that reminds me, dude. They had that World War II.
yes.
Yep.
That was cool.
Do you
They did
remember
that at Lethal Weapons too.
Yeah, their setup at Lethal Weapons was legit.
Yeah, it was cool.
At Lethal Weapons, we walked over there to their setup and they had this like old timey radio,
Yeah.
like broadcasting shit. And we were just sitting around literally like telling like life stories around their little camp. It was so cool.
I think this is Trump guy,
Yeah, that's Trump guy.
the drunken gunsmith.
Yeah.
It's like a nervous tick that he has now. He's just like, it's gonna be huge.
He's having a hard time breaking character now.
Davrinoff, thanks for the super sticker, dude. Oh man, sorry, missing a ton of comments here. So, Jesus Cristo, do you have an interesting story for us?
Oh man, I'll start Friday, and I'll say on our squad we had the gentleman that got his U.S. citizenship last year, the Combat Wombat.
Oh,
my
yeah.
god,
Yeah.
dude! Just listening to that guy cracked me up. I was like, oh my god, I thought he was faking that the way he talked, but that's the way he talks.
He's such a big dude. Like
Yeah,
he is
and-
like he's just a big dude, and he looks so redneck. Got the big red beard, and he's got his cowboy hat, and he walks up to us like, "How you doing there, Mister?"
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a very soft, and he's got that hilarious
Yes.
Australian accent. He's like, "How you doing, you fucking cunts? I'm here to shoot the stage now." He's just so
Yeah.
soft-spoken.
Awesome.
He was like really soft spoken, but also super sailory cussy, you know?
Yeah,
Which was really cool.
I walked him over to Mars to talk to
Rachel.
And he walked over to Mars and like listened to them talk to each other, and like it was pretty cool.
Man, I would have loved to have heard that. Man, that would have been hilarious.
Dude, so that was one thing on during the match, and then so at night we were supposed to go do the taste testing for the campground, for the food, right? That we were gonna judge, and man, we're like 4 or 5 minutes into it, and there's like a crowd of people around this dude with his pants around his ankles, and I'm like, and the first thing that came out of the first thing that I said was like, "Why are you showing your pee-pee, dude? What's going on?" And
you
he's
mean
like,
that?
that guy, I was like, I dislocated my knee, and I was like, "But why do you have your pants around your ankles?" Wait.
Oh,
Wait. Hey,
Oh.
Clay, go back to the last picture. Go back to the last picture. Oh my God, I just shot with him today. That's the guy. He shot with me today at Iron Soul Tactical.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Go back to the next picture. This is
The
the dude,
ground or his knee?
the ground. Was showing the knee. Yeah, that
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
Oh,
Damn.
located his knee.
You didn't
Yeah.
tell me about that.
Look at that.
He ended up shooting
Oh.
the match the next day, though.
He shot the
Yeah.
next day.
If it looks just like the guy that shot the match with me today, so I'm thinking it's him.
So he actually emailed me the whole story about how this happened.
Do tell.
Yeah.
Or do you want to
Sure.
save it for later?
No,
I've got it.
He's got it.
Okay.
I gotta find it. Here we go. Okay, I've got it right here.
You have
So
to
he-
give him
yeah.
a new nickname. We'll call them knee pads.
He sent me a random email, and the description is knee dislocation guy.
Oh God.
So he says, I was chilling at my group's camp, and some dude from the camp next to us asked if I had ever had cheer wine. I said no, walked over to get what was sold to me was God's gift to the free world, and upon bending over to pick up one out of the cooler, I stepped in a hole, crossed my legs, and popped my kneecap out for the first time ever. I had a bunch of the very fine people nearby, shout out Egyptian dude, whose name I should totally remember, but I do not, see me flop over, proceed to come over and feed me burgers and moonshine until Colorado County EMS showed up and wheeled me off to Katy. Within 2 minutes of getting in the door at Memorial Hermann in Katy, a doctor walked by, took a look at my knee and said, "Dislocation? Let me reduce that." He proceeded to pop it back in place unceremoniously. My girlfriend came and picked me up and drove me back to KB with my knee in a brace. I signed up to compete in armored category, so the next day I put on my hipster camo with my leg brace underneath, put on 16 pounds of plates and ballistic MICH 2000, and went out, ran every stage with no DNFs, with exception of taking a procedural on the wobbly bridge since, just fucked up my knee, which was probably the only right call I made all day. I finished 259th overall and 93rd in light optics. It was a lot of fun despite the ambulance bill, which I'm totally not going to pay. Look forward to weapons and Kalash Bash next year.
That is literally the most Kalash Bash story I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good story. I think that's
Dude,
the guy
that's
I
a
shot
great
with today.
picture, dude.
So
That's a
Mark,
great
I think
picture.
this is a good time for you to tell your story.
Who me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Your injury.
Oh, it wasn't really serious, but I did get a nice little souvenir from KB, which is awesome, and I'm going to get some shirts made up. So this is a ricochet that I took to the back of the neck, which was pretty cool, and that was on Friday. We were
Stage one.
Stage one, yep.
Yeah.
And it was. The squad before us was just finishing up, so I figured in between shooters, I'd walk out and take a look at the targets to kind of figure out what do I want to do. And as I turned around to start walking back, I felt something just punch me right in the back of the neck, and I was like, "Oh!" And I was like, "Damn, what the fuck was that?" And then I felt something pinch, and then burn right down my spine, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I've been shot." So I went down on a knee and grabbed the back of my neck, and I looked and there was no blood. And I was like, okay, well, that's good. And I just sat there for a second. I was like, oh, there it is. And it got bunched up in the bottom of my shirt. And then Doug's going to be, his name's going to come up a lot in this live chat, but he was able to fish this out of my shirt. And so naturally Lamb came over. I explained to him what happened. I was like, hey man, it's cool. Everything's fine. No big deal. And then, so that was on Friday. Fast forward to Sunday. I'm catching up with, with Doug at the subgun match. And, he's on stage 3. They get in between shooters. So there's a lull. Stage 2 starts up and I hear the guys start shooting. I turn, and as soon as I turn, take another ricochet right here. It freaking slices me open. I'm like, got blood running down my throat, and I was like, hey, what do you know? So the shirts I'm going to get made up is if you didn't take 2 ricochets to the neck, or did you even Kalash Bash?
I just sent you the pictures, Clay.
Where'd you send them?
KB.
Next year, my LARP will be probably a boy in a bubble, or or I'll just walk around with freaking, yeah, you can see the little mark on the back of my neck. I'll just walk around and bubble wrap everywhere I go.
Yeah. You can say you're bulletproof now.
I tell you what, man. I mean, you see how deformed this bullet is. I mean, just that's just from the back of my neck right there.
Just imagine if it hit your head, it would just shatter.
It's pretty thick.
Yeah, the range is definitely going to probably enforce a iPro at all times if you're on the property policy moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah. And it's just, and realistically, if I'm being objective about the whole thing, this is what, my fourth or fifth KB that I've been to, fourth, I think, or fifth. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And never once have I ever felt unsafe. This is like one of those things. I mean, everybody was joking. It's like, dude, you need to go get a lottery ticket right now. Because not only did it happen once, it happened twice in two different areas, and it was just me. Bolts caught one, I think, but I think that had to do with just the fact that he was laying prone and shooting, and just the angle of shooting a rifle at steel, fairly, I don't want to say close, but so it's just one of those things, and it just.
Ooh.
I think ultimately the match is as safe as you possibly can get.
Mark, do you know
we'll
about?
come up with a ribbon to hand people when that shit happens.
Pascal said you get a Purple Heart next year.
Yeah, we'll get purple ribbons for that.
Mark, do you know about Doug's story from his first KB? He's texting me.
I don't remember.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let I told him to type it up to me, so I guess we'll wait until he's. It says he shit himself. So.
Oh yeah, he just sent me that text too.
Hey, I got a quick one while you're getting that text.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do it,
Yeah,
Jesus.
so we're on stage 3, right? It's that one where they were supposed to dig trenches, but because of the weather they didn't. And so it's Mark's turn to go up, and he's about to put all his gear on, and he's got a scorpion in his hat.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was stage 1.
No, stage
stage
3.
3, but it was our stage 1.
Yeah.
And so something caught my eye. I was bringing my helmet up, and I brought it back, and I looked, because I'm getting to that age where I'm just like, something gets close to my eyes, I have to pull it away to focus, and it's a freaking scorpion, man. So I put my helmet on, and then I immediately feel like a sting in the back of my head, and I'm like, please, oh man, it was just my brain messing with me. I was like, please don't let that be another scorpion stinging the shit. And so then I have to go run, and I have to go do the stage, and my mind is just completely gone at that point. But the crazy thing about it is I sit there and I thought about it. There is no way that a scorpion got into my helmet in Texas. That thing got.
I was going to say that would have been the rare. I've never seen a scorpion out there ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
It came from here. It came from Kansas, because my Kevlar had been in my garage, and we have never seen him in the house here. But Nan's friend that lives like 4 blocks away says that she has them all over her house. So I was like, oh, wow. Dang. So yeah, and it wasn't very big. It was about an inch long. So maybe 2.
That's the ones you got to worry about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So maybe if you would have got stung by that, you wouldn't have got them ricochets. You would have been.
It's like the butterfly effect,
Yeah.
Of all the times that we've been out there, and I've looked, I've yet to see a scorpion out there. When you said that, I was like, gosh, dude. Of all the things, that was like really, really lucky, to catch one.
Yeah.
Did you get a picture of it?
I didn't. No, that was the thing. It was one of those things. I was like, oh, and I just flicked it out as quickly as I could. I was like, holy cow, I was like,
the combat wombat's pants.
Yeah.
I have a viewer submitted. They chose to remain anonymous, so they sent us this in a DM, and it's kind of funny. So he said, my favorite KB moment this year happened just off property. Thursday afternoon, I just got to town, and our hotel wasn't even ready yet. So I decided to roll by and register early so that we can get going a little quicker on Friday. He then says, I passed the rest area. There's a rest area, literally. It's a right-hand turn right before you get to our property. It's a little rest area. So he's passing the rest area, which is on the right of Highway 90. He said there's a guy squatting, dressed Winnie the Pooh style, so no pants, wearing a balaclava, trying to hide behind his car. He is clearly having a rear liquid distress moment so bad that he couldn't even make it to the driveway. I texted a group of the boys, if any of you are the man wearing nothing but a balaclava and shame and shame on the side of 90. Godspeed, brother.
Shit happens.
Yeah. We've had a lot of like shitty stories, like pun intended. A lot of stories, including people pooping their pants prematurely.
Yeah,
at
I'm
KB.
still waiting on Doug's. Must be typing a novel because it just keeps going. So we'll have to get to it whenever he finishes.
He's typing with one finger, bro.
Hey, speaking of like pooping and shit, right? So one of the things that after the last Kalash Bash last year, some of the feedback that we got was like just the bathrooms at the time we were only having someone check on them like every couple of hours, and so some people had said, hey, it'd be nice if the bathrooms were like maintained a little more frequently. So we hired some people to basically babysit the bathrooms and the showers like the entire weekend. And from what I heard, for those of y'all who were camping out there, from what I heard, that was noticed. So if any of y'all who are in the comments who are at camp, did that make a difference? I'd like to know.
I think it did. I saw a comment earlier in the comment in the live chat that said that no pun intended, the bathrooms were the shit, so
Gotcha. Good. Yeah, I mean, I was speaking to the bathroom attendants, and they were telling me like how often they were having to go in there. They were scrubbing the showers and taking care of that, and it was like, I feel like I kind of owe everyone an apology that it took us a couple of years to kind of figure that part out. But thank y'all for giving us that feedback, and certainly something we'll continue to do.
Tufu wasn't here this year either, so maybe that helped. Tusk 3 says H-Town looks like the bassist from Mastodon. Yeah, no, you kind of do. The lead singer, who's also the bassist, you look just like him.
That's the look I was going for.
KB crowd produces a lot of shit. We have learned over the years. We learned way back in KB19 that you guys produce a lot of shit when we ordered one porta potty for 200 people. And like your balls would get dirty if you sat down. It was bad when he came to pick it up. Poor guy, dude, with the liftgate on his trailer. All you heard was like hydraulic whine, and it was not lifting. And he's just mean mugging us. It's just like, ween. We're like,
that's so funny. There's video of it. There's just like a video of just people going in and out of that thing. The one porta potty.
The one porta potty.
It's crazy.
It's amazing what you learn over the years.
As the bathrooms were fucking awesome. Good.
Thank y'all very much. I appreciate that. I have a story. I'm going to tell it from my perspective, because there's so much that just goes on behind the scenes. And something I like sharing is like, there's just this calm before the storm that happens when all the tents are put up and we've got all the golf carts all lined up behind the clubhouse. So for those of y'all that don't know, we stay in the clubhouse over basically the entire week before and a few days after the event. So we're on site, for several days. So we get to see, the trailers all show up, the tents show up, the stage where the band is playing, all the golf carts, and like the vendors start showing up. But there's like this kind of moment, and it's like Thursday night. It's like right before the night before opening the gates and allowing people on the property, where it's just like, I don't know how to describe it, Clay. You'll have to come up with some, great words to describe it, but it's just quiet. And there's like all these tents. And we're just so fucking dialed now. It's like everything is where it's supposed to be. And it's like there's no stress at that point. It's like we're about to go have a good time tomorrow. And that was awesome. That felt so special to me. And Clay and I have these moments where we kind of sit there before and just kind of marinate in that for a little bit. And that's always a special thing every single year that we do.
Yeah, I got out there Monday, and Pascal's in town for like 3 weeks leading up to KB. So he's basically saying this: the second you get out there, let me know. So there have been years where I'm like kind of by myself that first night, and it's very serene. I kind of sit on the back porch. All the tents are up all over the property, and we haven't really built the place yet, but it's just quiet. So I shared that with Pascal this year, which will lead into the next story. I know someone just asked about it with a super chat, but Pascal, if you don't know, is a guy that has been coming to KB now. This is his second KB, and he's been to a Lethal Weapon, so it's his third event with us coming to Texas. He comes all the way to Texas for like 3 to 4 weeks from Germany. He lives in Cologne, and that is not an easy thing to do. It's a major undertaking coming over here. He also goes through all the drama of getting paperwork to bring his guns with him. Last year, he brought one of his personal Saigas with him, and he could honestly say it's probably the most newly produced Saiga currently in the country, which was kind of cool because he brought it with him and shot the match with him. And it awesome dude, right? So anyway, he helps build the place out there for like 3 nights. So he and I have all this alone time out there where we're working all day, sitting outside, smoking stogies at night. That's when it's like super calm, the calm before the storm. But to stay on the subject of Pascal, another crazy story that happened this year, and someone just brought it up. So event happens. Pascal has a great time. He's become like a freaking celebrity. He's literally a full-blooded Texan at this point, living in Germany. The poor freaking guy, man. He rents a truck while he's here, and he's staying with one of his buddies in Houston. The day before he's catching his flight, like he literally sends us this awesome text saying, love you guys, miss you guys. I feel like I have a home here. Thank you guys for being so cool. The next morning, he and his buddy go to get steaks, and someone breaks into his freaking truck. They steal his passports, which have his gun papers and whatever else they could get their hands on. He's got to catch a plane within hours. Now he's got no passport, and he's got no paperwork for all these guns to fly home back to Germany with. He had to go to a German embassy and do all this crazy shit. It was a huge ordeal. It ended up costing him a lot of money to reproduce passports and all that. So
yeah, that gun paperwork was very expensive.
Yeah, so a bunch of guys and gals banded together and got a raffle going, and they've raised, I think last time I checked, like $3,500 for Pascal. It might be more at this point. Raised a ton of money, which should more than cover all those crazy expenses. He had to stay in Texas like a few more days that he was not expecting. He had to miss work, had to rent a truck longer, had to feed himself longer. It was just not good. And when he got home, he had to deal with all the craziness of the Germans wanting to know how his papers got stolen and all the bullshit.
Damn, how did that go? Didn't he have a meeting or something?
Everything's fine now. So for people wondering, he's home now. He's good. Everything's good. But it was he definitely got pulled in for all the questioning and all that crap that went along with it. But Shocker Shooter wants to know the update on Pascal. That's the update. And I believe the raffle is drawing tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, ton of stuff. Everyone donated stuff. There's tons of stuff in there. If my name gets drawn, I'm just going to keep telling them to redonate. I'm sure several people are going to do the same thing. But that should more than cover any bull crap he had to go through for those 3 days.
Yeah.
There's your update, Shocker Shooter. Thanks for the tip.
Yeah, and one of the interesting things too is that you had the award to the person who came the longest distance, and this guy came from Japan. He ended up winning it was like an RMR, I think.
Brand new Rubicon RMR.
Yep, and what was interesting was I was talking to Pascal on Thursday, and he was telling me that he was surprised that Trigicon was going to be there this year, which was really cool. And he's like, I need to talk to him about getting an RMR because they're like 1,000 euros in Germany.
Yeah,
1,000 euros equates to about $1,500 in American money. And so this guy from Japan,
Tyler,
is his name? Yeah,
right. Yeah, Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler. He then re-gifts it to Pascal on the stage. So now he has this like RMR and he's like super stoked about it. And then, the next day he gets broken into, man. It's just, it just broke my heart to see that whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pascal has told me just simple optics are marked up 30-40%.
Yeah. Before KB, I bought a Wholesome for him off of what do you call that? Tax swap. Because it was so much more expensive over there. And when he came in, he stayed with me in Airbnb. I was able to give it to him, just save him that money. It's wild.
Yeah, Pascal's cool. I have a Pascal story that kind of involves Jesus Cristo down there.
Ay, no, por favor. Por favor, no.
Does that involve some tortas?
I wish.
Founders.
I just read his name earlier, dude, and I started dying. Hey, that's why Rodrigo's tent didn't fly away. Just saying.
I had two tortas in my tent.
So, dude,
they were juicy.
It's like Sunday. The event's kind of on cruise control. Rodrigo is running the turntables. He's making all the announcements. He's got some of the best Spanish music playing. Like you could tell it went from Creed to like super traditional Mexican music. And I'm like, hell yeah. Like Rodrigo he's in there like changing all the Pandora over the PA system. And he gets a call, and I'll let him tell a little bit of it too. But from my perspective, I hear over the radio, and dude, this is like 4 o'clock. It's at
2:58. It's at 2:58, right before our last
3 o'clock. We're about to do our last hot session for the weekend.
Yes.
Rodrigo comes over the thing. He's like, "Hey guys," so everyone with a radio can hear this, but everyone at the event doesn't know. He says, "Guys, I've just been told there's a fire at the campsite. We cannot go hot yet." And I'm like, grabbing my radio, and I'm like, "Can we get details on the fire? Like, what's going on?" And all I hear is, "Hey guys, Pascal just called me. The fire is uncontrollable, and we need the fire department." And that's all I hear. And I'm like, "Holy shit!" So I'm jumping in a golf cart, and I'm trying to call somebody to see what the hell. I don't see smoke, and I'm going, "What do we do? What do we do? Do we stop the show? Like, we got one more hour. We just got to get through one more hour." But how did the call come through to you, Rodrigo, when Pascal told you that?
Yeah, so it was 2:58. I had already told the range officers, like, hey, we're going hot in 5 minutes. And I had my metas on, right? So I had the metas on, and Pascal was already done. He had helped earlier, right? So he was done with his shift. So he gives me a call, and the call comes through your metas, right? So I get the call on the metas, and he's like, hey, there's a fire at the campsite. There's a fire at the campsite. It's big. And I'm like,
you gotta say it in Pascal's voice. The fire is very big.
The fire is very big.
Everyone should be panicking right now.
This is a very serious matter.
Yeah. So then he hangs up on me, right? So then I'm sitting there with the walkie-talkies, and I'm like, oh shit, what do I do? So then I said, hey guys, there's a fire at the campsite. And I just try to inform everyone. And as I'm saying that, he gives me another call into the metas, and I answer, and he's like, call the fire department, fire department, fire department, fire department. It's out of control. And I'm thinking like, oh my God. So I'm telling everybody like, hey, we're not going to go hot. We're not going to go hot. I repeat, we're not going to go hot. There's a fire at the campsite. And I'm like, I'm sitting in that little house. So I can't tell what's going on. I can only rely on whoever's piping in the information to me. So I was like, that was the longest, like 4 minutes of the whole weekend. I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And then you can finish the rest of the story off, Clay.
So then I'm just about to haul ass towards the campsite. I keep calling on the radio. I was like, who's at the campsite? No one's answering. Matt Shockey is basically the guy that lights the campfire every year with the flamethrower. He's basically the Mr. Fix-It. If shit hits the fan, Matt needs to go handle it. So I'm calling Matt, calling Clark, calling anyone. No one's answering. And I know if I'm at the main event and a radio is at the campsite, that's pretty much out of distance. So I'm thinking, fuck, everyone's at the campsite. So I call Matt panicking, and I'm driving on the golf cart. Rodrigo's got the whole place on hold, and we're kind of in this holding pattern. I call Matt. He's like, hey, what's up? I'm like, hey, I'm driving. What do we do? He's like, what do you mean? What do we do? I'm like, there's a fire at the campsite. Like we need to call the fire department. We're shutting this down. What are we doing? He's like, oh, don't be a baby. Who said that? I'm like, Pascal called Rodrigo. Matt's like, I'm kicking the fire out now. Call your freaking city slicker buddies and tell them we do shit a little different down here in Texas. Okay, the fire's out, Clay. Hang on. And I'm just like, okay. And if Matt says it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
So I call Rodrigo, and I'm like, they just stopped, drop, and roll a little bit. Fire's gone. We're good to go. And he called the whole place hot. Like we were down maybe 6 minutes past going hot. And then I called Pascal. I'm like, hey, what was that? He goes, the fire was big. The fire was quite big.
That's awesome.
That was the cherry on top there for the last day.
Yeah.
Everything was smooth. Everything was going so smooth up until the last minute, the last hot session.
Matt is
But-
such an interesting character. He has like zero interest in being in front of a camera or shaking hands with anybody or being introduced or being acknowledged, like zero. And usually it'll be like 3 or 4 days out. He'll just kind of like show up out of nowhere and start like causing an enormous amount of stress about like this. We're not doing this. I'm not having, y'all aren't doing this. And it's like, it happens like clockwork every year. It's like, he'll just show up and he just starts like pulling the rug out on all these things we're working on, to the point where eventually like, okay, Matt, time for a little powwow, and we'll like go meet over at the building where they're repairing all the excavators and shit, and he'll be sitting there feeding the cats, and it's like, and I remember this year I walked up to him, I'm like, Matt, you good? You want a hug? And he's like, I'm good. I don't remember what was it that campers, what it was, people driving around.
Oh, there was something
Right.
he basically gave us a hard no on, and we had to
Yeah.
go talk to him. Oh, I think it was people driving past the chain. He just would not allow it.
Right. People driving and unloading their shit at camp. He's like, I don't want people driving back there. And we're like, Matt, we're not going to have people carry their camp shit for a quarter mile from the parking area all the way to Tent City. Like, and he just backed down. It's like the same thing every year. He's such an interesting character. When the first EMS showed up, that one guy that busted his knee, Matt and I were standing, we were just sitting over there talking, and he saw the EMS come in, the first SUV. And if you don't know Matt, it's the guy that's driving that side by side like 60 miles an hour through the property. That's Matt.
Yeah.
That little whatever you want to call it.
I think he gets a lot of joy out of being the guy that lights the bonfire. Don't you get that? I get that
Yeah.
feeling like he loves to be that guy to show up and be like the superhero to light that fire.
Mhm.
And this year it was like so fucking cold. We were like, hurry up and light the fire.
Yeah. People were screaming while we were doing the awards ceremony. They're like, turn the fire on. I'm like, hold on.
Yeah. You're right.
Wait.
You're right, Rodrigo. He does take it very serious. He'll be texting us, what time's the fire tonight? We're like,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll tell you when we're ready.
That is his job.
He's like, I got to get ready for it. Get my
He
flamethrower ready.
Matt
I've
does
been
not
to
show
KB
much
3
emotion.
years. Yeah, go ahead.
He was camping out in the big house, and he's like Stonewall Jackson all the time. And I walk in there, and he goes, "You got a corn band playing tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah, actually, we do." He's like, "They got a bagpipe guy?" I'm like, "As a matter of fact, they do have a bagpipe guy." He's like, "Shoots and Ladders is like my favorite song of all time." It's like, well, you're in luck, Matt. I didn't think you listen to any music. I just thought you sit around watching Cops all the time, and that's just all you do.
Is that why he's so sweaty?
Yeah.
and dipping, right? He loves
dipping,
dipping. Yeah. No, so I've been to 3 KBs, and man, it's always a big deal when he comes out, and he's got that flamethrower thing, right, with the teeth on it, painted on it. So that's his thing. He loves that. That's it. That's the one thing that he's like looking forward to. But every KB is to go light that fire.
Man, old Mateo.
Yeah, I remember the story you were telling about Matt and like kind of downplaying the fire was similar to that time when there was the dead deer,
Oh,
like
yeah.
your first event out there.
First year ever, it's the first event ever, 2020. And I remember I was on the back of Bay 8, which is where we put the silver vendors. It's that first big bay you see when you get through Reg. And I'm at the very back of the bay, and I'm like literally setting targets. And there's a big dead ass deer, like tits up, just in the weeds. You can barely see it until you're right on it. I'm like, oh shit. Pull out my radio. I'm like, hey Matt. He's like, what's up? So we got a big ass dead ass deer on Bay 8. And he's like, okay. I'm like, well, it's a big ass dead ass deer. Like, people are gonna be here. He goes, does it stink? And I'm like, no, I think it's been here for a while. And there's like a long pause, and he goes, well, Clay, that's what deer do. They die. Stop talking to me after that. So I just walked away from it.
As long as it wasn't too plump, they're okay.
Yeah.
They fill up with gas.
Then they burst.
He's a funny freaking guy. So many tofu stories with Matt. So many stories.
Rachel's got a story she wants you to tell about the hog cleaning up after Kalash Bash.
Oh, I don't remember which KB this was, but all the food vendors usually left a big pile of trash bags over where the food court is. So it's the day after. I'm out there with Rachel, and I remember there were other girls there. And I remember all the girls are like, "Oh my god!" There's this gigantic wild hog, massive. It's just like strolling through the main event. It's heading towards those trash bags, and they're like, "Oh my god!" It's like they're getting close to it. I'm like, Get away from it! It's a massive wild hog, just dark black hog, right?
Yeah, been living off porta potty poop for a couple years.
So pull the girls off of it, put them up. We had that big truck and trailer at the time. I put them up there, like to get them off the ground. And I call Matt. I'm like, dude, there's a massive hog getting into the trash over near the food trucks. And the girls are in the back going, he's cute though. Well, and the pig just gets out of view, right? Just gets out of view around the corner. And then, like, perfect timing. Matt's just like, comes out of his office, got an AR with a suppressor on it, and sort of struts around the corner. And the girls are like, what's he going to do? And all you hear is just like, and then, like, Matt comes back with a front end loader, scoops the dead ass pig up with all the trash, and then takes it to the burn pile. And the girls are just like mortified. What?
Rachel's like, well, I want to pet that dog.
Pet that dog. Yeah.
Pet that dog.
Well, there's a hog in the camp area last year.
Yeah.
Just walking around, and people are like going up to it. And I'm like, hey, y'all, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Especially one with some cutters.
Yeah, I didn't see any, and it wasn't very big. But you never know. I mean, it could just be just underneath the lip, and still cut your way open real quick. So
was the pig that Cody was cooking, was that a pig from the ranch that they killed?
No,
that's one from his house.
From his house?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, so it's like a domesticated pig, one that, wasn't just eating shit all the time. So
yeah.
He was cooking it, and it never really fully cooked through. And then he went on a mushroom bender, and he woke up halfway through the night with actual hogs eating his hog, and he wasn't quite sure if it was happening or not. He chased him away with a knife.
That's the most Texas thing I've heard.
Yeah.
Hey, the craziest Kalash Bash camp food story I ever heard. I didn't even know about it until the next year. But word on the street is that somebody caught a rattlesnake at the campground, and it was cooked and eaten at camp.
Yeah, that was
and enough people have verified it was true.
Who was that, babe? Angel did that? Yeah, it was Charlie. Yeah, Tunnel Rat did that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You mean Pee Wee Herman?
Yes, Pee Wee Herman.
Leatherface.
I mean, that's like nuts.
And nothing wrong with snake.
I have another vendor submitted. This guy wants to be anonymous. He's in the chat, though. This is actually a story from last year, and the picture is just underneath Marky Mark. You see the police officer dressed like a Japanese maid that's passed out on the ground. So, the story goes, so KB 2024, some dude in a maid outfit and COVID mask passed out super drunk next to our tent, and no one knew who he was or where he was staying, so he was wearing a mask. When he passed out, we put him on his side, and when we pulled down his mask and we exposed the cop mustache, we all started dying of laughter. After that, we threw a blanket on him, put a pillow under him, and the next morning, he was gone. And then the next day, they just saw him at the event walking around like nothing ever happened.
Can you imagine, dude? Didn't they just all stand around and get pictures with him while he was passed out?
Yes.
I was surprised we didn't see someone walking around with Sharpie drawn all over their face,
Yeah. Oh, dude, God, I wish I had the picture up, but my favorite candid photo from KB this year, there was probably 12 dudes LARPing as Woody from Toy Story.
Oh yeah.
It was a very popular LARP this year.
That one I'll send it to you.
Do you have that one of the guy passed out?
Oh no, I don't have that. I have the one where that guy is that Matt in the video? I'm gonna send it to you. That shit's so funny.
So
dude, Rodrigo, I'm loving your hair, dude. Can we get a side shot of that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this guy.
Do the Pantene hair flip, man.
Yeah.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us.
Oh yeah, he was in our squad. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy was in our squad.
So there was one Woody that was like a pretty heavy set guy that I guess had one too many cervezas at the campsite that night, and someone has this perfect picture of him just limp, passed out at the campsite on the ground and kind of like halfway sitting in a chair, and the caption was, "Hurry, Woody, Andy's coming."
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh man.
Yeah, wait
That's
till you
so
find it.
good.
Send it.
Hey, so your friend Mark, the other Woody, he was dressed as
Doug?
Woody on Saturday.
Doug,
Doug,
yeah.
yeah. Man, he was chilling with me over at the, I guess right behind the clubhouse, and he's dressed as Woody. And then I started looking at him. I was like, bro, you look a lot like that Meat Canyon Woody.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. He was like, it looked exactly like the Meat Canyon Woody. He had the same facial features. He couldn't get enough of it. I was like,
Randy.
Yeah. Well, I got the story about Doug from his very first KB. Just real quick, this is really, really funny. He texted to me. I think Jacob, you got it too. But
Yeah.
so Doug, this is his very first, not this year, but 2021. It was his very first KB, and it was his very first competition. He's shooting Friday. He had food poisoning all week long, and he was like shitting himself every single day. On top of that, he was super nervous, and he got to his first stage, but he had to pee really, really bad. So he went behind the berm real quick and decided to go pee, and he ended up farting and squeezed out a little Hershey kiss. And then proceeds to walk half a mile to the car to get wipes and new underwear. He went to the bathroom trailer. There's no lights on, so he couldn't see what he was doing. So he decides just to take all of his clothes off, or he starts to get undressed, and then decides that he wants to drop a deuce. So he does, and as soon as he does, there's a major splash because the toilet is full of water. So his socks, his shoes, and all of his military stuff is like soaked wet. So he had to change his underwear and throw all of the shitty stuff into the trash. And he put his wet shoes back on to get back to the stage before they could start. He slams a metric ton of Tums, and then he shoots well.
Who was this again? I heard you say Doug, but
Doug.
Yeah.
I'll send his profile to the KB thing.
Yeah, he was the Woody that was up on stage. Man, what was the LARP award for? It wasn't
the
Woody.
Was it Lawman?
It was the boots, I think.
It's
Yeah,
the
it was
boots.
the
Oh,
boots.
boots.
Yes.
That's right.
Goof
He had
and boots.
Andy written on his boot.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
He was also the guy shooting the he was shooting a crink. He was
Crink.
shooting a 104
Yeah.
crink.
Yep.
I just sent you his profile, Clay.
Send it to the KB page.
Oh,
I have
Okay.
I've got this isn't a story, but just an observation that we were talking
His
about
channel's
off
private,
camera.
but that's his channel there.
TRT
damn.
Woody. That's hilarious. Yeah. He is a major lifter. Yeah.
I wanted to share this with a lot of the people who are kind of watching. Just an observation, having been able to look at a lot of the data from who's actually coming out to Kalash Bash. Something that I observed this year that I feel like is kind of a turning point for Kalash Bash is the amount of people who came this year that were out of state or first timers. Like, I had so many people come up to me this year that were like, I've been wanting to come, finally here. This is my dad. This is my wife, whatever it is. We drove down from Ohio. I truly believe that this is a turning point for Kalash Bash. This is an event that we do in Texas, but is no longer only Texans. So I would ask, if y'all are watching this, if you're in the comment section, let us know where you came from, even if it wasn't Texas. But I'm kind of curious, like, if it was your first time, where did you drive down from? I met so many people from out of state. I really believe that, like, moving forward, we're going to start seeing more of this, where people are like really making a pilgrimage to come to Kalash Bash.
Yeah.
Not just from Germany and Japan,
Yeah, people from all over. I think Saucy, he drove from Arizona, I think it was, he said. So man, that's a long trip. Like,
Yeah. So there was a guy that came up to me who was an older gentleman, and he was there with his son, and they had come from out of state. I don't remember the state. If I had to guess, I would say I want to say it might have been Ohio. But anyways, I'll keep it quick, man. This guy, he walked up to me and he goes, "Hey, Tony, I just wanted to come introduce myself. I've actually been in the industry my whole like adult career. I recently retired a few years ago. The majority, or at least a significant amount of his time in the industry, he worked for SIG back when they had the 550s and all that shit. And he was talking about having SIG 550s in his trunk. But the coolest thing that he had to say was, he's like, man, I've been to all these things, over the years. I've been to every trade show, event, festival, you name it. I've been to a lot of them. And he's like, man, I've never seen anything like this before. And it was like the look in his eyes. Like, to me, I felt like I was looking into the eyes of like a kid. He just had this look that he couldn't even describe what he was trying to say to me. He was so impressed. And like every time we walked past him, he just gave me that look. Like, I almost felt like I wanted to hug him every time I saw him, because he just was like so in the moment. I'm like, but it meant so much to me because this guy was an industry guy. And he was like, well, I don't even know how to describe what y'all are doing here, but whatever it is, keep doing this. Like, this is amazing. I wish that people did this when I was working, when I did this. So gosh, that meant so much to me. It gave me butterflies listening to this guy talk, and really, really proud of all the people, all the LARPing. That stuff happened organically. The camping, all that stuff just happened. Like, y'all did that. Like, that's crazy.
I think it's good too, because it shows like the stages and the way they're set up are like also welcoming for new people. Like, they're not overly complicated. It's pretty straightforward, and I think everybody enjoyed them.
Yep. Yet still, they're still somewhat challenging enough too. So it's going to be a little bit overwhelming for someone who's new, but after they get their first stage underneath their belt, they're like, oh, okay, I understand what's going on. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yep. Charlotte, North Carolina. That's the guy. Yep. That's him.
And Mario and I kind of talked about that on the podcast when we were, recording that on Saturday. Is how do you balance a competition that is going to be welcoming to new shooters, but also challenging to competition shooters as well. So. Yeah.
One thing that the ROs, some of y'all who've been shooting Kalash Bash over the years have seen a lot of familiars in the RO staff that are like running the clocks and doing all of that. And one of the things that they tell us is they're like, we see these people who are here for their fourth or fifth time, and they're like, just as a collective, everybody is shooting better. So like, as the years have gone by, everybody's gotten better at this match. And they're like, that first year was very sketchy. But now it's like they're watching these guys who were shooting their first match 4 or 5 years ago, who are like, dude, that video of Chad, that first person perspective video of him shooting or whatever it was. Did you see that video?
That Chad Moses?
Yeah.
Oh, it was incredible.
Yeah, Chad is like the fastest dude I've seen on an AK in a long time now.
On that topic, Clay, I think next year, rock and lock only, 30 round caps, to get rid of these D60 IWI shooters.
Well, there's one guy that you're going to have to really convince. I'm going to have to pull Jeremy Gresham to the side and say, hey, look.
Rock and lock only, bro. Rock and lock.
Are you going to get butt hurt if we make this a rock and lock thing? I mean, you've got rock and lock guns.
Maybe just make another category.
Oh, I mean, not even that.
We can tweak the rules year to year. We can
30 round mag cap, because I mean, you got everybody running D60s, and it's like,
yeah.
Hey, but you were running the pizza. It was like 47 rounds.
That's different. I
was like, hold on, wait a second. Yeah, because I'm getting ready to build a new AK that's going to take Galil mags, so I have the 35 and 50.
I just wonder, like, Chad, he freaking killed it, and he's just running an M90. I'm pretty sure it was just 30 round mags. Like, absolutely freaking killed it. Y'all should really watch that video.
Hey, you know who else killed it?
What's that?
This guy right here.
Dude, his neck is broke.
No, Andy's coming.
Dude, that is
classic.
Yeah, hell yeah. Great delivery there.
Oh man, that has to be pinned on the KB.
Richella Uno Mas, please.
Hey,
Mas.
can I get one more too, please, over here?
Uno
Oh,
Mas for Jesus
hey,
Cristo.
I have to serve myself.
I like Dan's comment. He says, "Do a division called Weak Sauce."
Yeah.
Oh hey, Mose and Chad's in the comment section.
Yeah, dude, that dude's incredible. He's
Yeah,
incredible.
he is. Yeah,
Dude,
He
when I
said,
saw
he
that,
said before the match, like he didn't get to practice much. So he's a farmer, so he's on a tractor and he is dry firing in the cab of the tractor at like things he sees out there. I was like, that's awesome.
amazing. Yeah.
something that we've talked about doing, and I
What's
really
Chad's
want to do it.
Instagram? I'm on KB, so it doesn't like pull up people's.
Oh,
Instagram
I'll send it
quick.
to you real quick.
Yeah, it's Mosen_Chad.
Underscore. That's it.
When I saw that video of Chad, reminded me of something we've talked about doing, but we've just never really like gotten to that point where we were ready to do it. But I feel like we just have to do this. Is have a third pin shooting team.
See how fast he fixed that malfunction.
That's incredible.
Wait for the reload, dude.
That's fucking awesome. Holy shit.
That's disgusting, is what that is.
That's disgusting right there, guys.
Yeah.
So fast. That's an M90, dude. That's just that's not like a crazy thing. That's just an M90.
With the Molotov handguard, by the way.
Dude, I remember watching Chad. I think I've been shooting Chad maybe 4 years now. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. But, man, I remember meeting Chad at the Texas Kalashnikov match years ago when he was like just starting. The drastic difference from Chad then to Chad now, it's like not even the same ballpark, not even in the parking lot of the ballpark of the same shooter. Like this dude is going to like some national competition soon, like world shoots, and he's doing it all with AKs, which is freaking amazing. Chad is definitely a guy. What I love about Chad, he's not, and not to take anything away from like the Zach Smiths and the Kyle Litzies of the world, who are phenomenal shooters, but they're heavily sponsored. Chad's a farm boy that is coming out and taking first place at major events now with no sponsorships, 100% self-made with a beater ass M90. If that doesn't deserve a massive pat on the back and an attaboy, I don't know what does. Like,
How about a clap, like a fucking round of applause for Chad?
That's pretty
dude. Fuck
incredible.
yeah, dude.
Dude, and that
Like,
gun right
you
there.
don't need sponsors. You don't need to be some shooter with accolades with pictures all over your jersey. That's great if you are one of those guys. That's commendable. But it just shows you don't need to be one of those guys. Like, good shooters are good shooters, and Chad's a good shooter, dude.
Yeah, that gun right there, he's shooting right there, has got 6,500 rounds on it.
Yeah, that's Chad.
Yep, there he is, man.
And he took home an M+M M10.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
And the cool thing too is that first video that you showed, he's going through and crushing all of those targets and still coming back and making makeup shots too.
Yeah.
I've sit and watched his videos over and over and over again because I'm running an M90 as well. I've got a souped up trigger on it. I've got the 5-position gas port on it to kind of soften it up. I'm going to switch up my ammo from M193 to the PMC bronze to see if I can soften it up a little bit more. I'm looking at a unrivaled break to put on it as well, and I'm like, I still don't even know if I can move that fast.
Yeah.
And if you look at the scores, Chad didn't just take first. I mean, Chad was shooting the light open division. Some would say the most difficult division to win. That's the division with the D60s. That's the division with the Galil Aces taking AR mags. That's that division. And he won. If you look at scores, I remember first and second weren't separated by like tenths of a second. I think he put like a 13-second gap on second place, which is like, holy piss fast. That's he could bomb a stage and still win with a 13-second gap.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of that guy. I'm just super proud of him, man. He's just, he's one of the G's, dude. One of the homies that's just doing it. It's cool.
Yeah.
And
This is the story. This is like the story for us for Kalash Bash is like, watching these guys, start and then get several years out here, like making podium and doing all of that, man. So fucking awesome job, Chad.
Yeah. Hey, Mark, you're also battling Father Time like me.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But
That dude's got some young legs on him, man.
yeah, he does. He does.
I will say I am not running anything stupid next year.
What does that thing weigh, Jacob? Loaded, fully loaded. What does it weigh?
Fully loaded. As I set it up, I think when I got back home, I checked it because the other day I weighed it and it was 26.5, but when I checked it, it was 31.3 when I got back. So I don't know if it was just my scale or whatnot, but yeah, that's a big chungus.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you held one at KB. You got to shoot the auto one.
It's an incredibly heavy gun to take to a competition. I don't know how I would manage it.
That was something.
That is
I wouldn't do it, bro.
Of competitive guns.
Why are you torturing yourself?
I ain't doing it next year. I'm not shooting armored, and I shot it fully armored too.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, Jacob. So for next year, I need you, bro. I need you. I want to be that little guy that jumps out of your back on Ace Ventura and throws shit, you know? So I'll be in a backpack in your back the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do something normal next year because I'm just. It took me like 2 days to recover. I was so sore.
Hey, Neil's in the comment and telling you to be a man and run a PKM.
See, now M13 has the same idea. They're like, you should run a PKM, and I'm like, no. Number one, I actually, if I could afford it, I would do it. I would run a semi-auto PKM. They have one on Gunbroker right now that they're selling. There's no way I could afford that, but I would do it if I could afford it.
Well, the fact that you were able to run the stage on the horse, you know, and I saw you asked the question. Can you? Was it you or somebody else?
Yeah, I was like, can I rest my barrel on the horse's
head? Yeah, and they're like, no.
I was like, damn.
Oh. But you freaking crushed it. And then the Take Me Drunk, I'm Home stage. You were worried about that one too, and you crushed that one. So
dude, yeah, that last stage though, it got me. Like even in the video, you can see me like I like lean over for a second. I'm just like I can't hold it any longer. Like it just wore me out.
Hey, while we're on the topic of the match,
Pascal, he's leaving.
Yep. Good night,
Hey,
Pascal.
Good night, sir.
Buenas noches, amigo.
Yeah. Good
Hey,
enough.
While we're on the topic of the match, I've got 2 questions for everybody, including our panel of speakers tonight and also people in the comments section. How many people shot rifle and subgun this year? And the second question is so how did y'all feel about the format being a full day rifle match? Did you prefer that over AM PM, or what are your thoughts on that?
I think full day is the way to go. I mean, of course,
100%.
that's all I've ever done though. So.
That's all I've ever done too. Yep.
Shoot on Friday, that way you can hang out the rest of the weekend. That's the way I've done it.
Yeah. I did talk to some people today at Iron Soul Tactical that were at KB, and they loved the Saturday, having the award Saturday. So that was a big win right there.
Dude, the subgun, I've heard nothing but positive things about subgun. And like Lethal Weapons, I shot subgun, and that was probably the funnest shooting I've ever done. Like, it was just fun. It was just, I don't know. It was just a lot of fun. And everybody seems like KB, that subgun, everybody says they had a blast.
Yeah.
Which it's a lot of, but it's also like a lot of fast up close shooting. And I can understand that. And I think that's what makes it fun, you know, for me at least.
Right.
So I was really bummed out I didn't do subgun this year. I think next year I'm definitely going to shoot for subgun as well.
Yeah, I didn't shoot subgun this year, but I did get an opportunity to run 2 stages with Soli's with his what is it? It's the Kalashnikov USA, the KP9. He's got one that's like 16-inch barrel. It's all souped up and everything. And I was like, after the first one, I turned to him and I was like, man, why didn't I do this? Why did I not do this? So yeah, next year we'll have to see how the rest of this year goes. But next year, I'd like to do it.
Subgun's pretty cool. I mean, you know, we went from having, if you look at just how many match competitors last year, we ran 325 match competitors. This year it was almost 600 because of the addition of subgun. We were able to basically have twice as many people compete at Kalash Bash. One follow-up question I have about subgun is we brought in the ability to rent a subgun very, very late in the cycle of the event. Is that something that everyone feels like we should bring back next year, early on, like right in the very, very beginning, the ability to rent a subgun? Because we realize a lot of people would shoot subgun, but they just don't simply own one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good, especially someone made a comment. I don't know who that was. I just saw it in the comments. I think it was Brown Coat. Said it's a great intro for a lot of new shooters, and
Yes.
I think that is a great point. And I think having that rental there, like if someone's there, if they want to give it a shot. I mean, I don't know. It'd be kind of cool, like if people can show up and be like, if y'all have like an extra time at the end of the day for people that are new, like, hey, never shot a match before, you want to try it out? That would be kind of cool. But I don't know. I mean, the time crunch is crazy, so I doubt there's time for that. But that would be cool.
Yeah, and one of the things that I'll jump in just real quick is I've been trying to get my girlfriend into competitions, and she's still a little bit leery. I'm trying to get her warmed up to it. She wants to come to KB next year, and if at all possible, that I think that would be a great way to get her feet wet into something like that. Because what I saw this year with the way you guys had it set up and the way that the stages were done, it was incredibly simple. It was one of those you'll see from I think Chad's got video of what he's put out, or at least Jose does, of just them running through it super fast, and it's not difficult at all, and they could a beginner shooter could negotiate that very easily.
Yeah, a lot of people, their home range is an indoor range, so they're shooting at paper. And it's like when you get out there, for those of us who do this all the time, like we got to remember what it was like shooting steel with a subgun for the first time. Like that was a whole different range experience than shooting at an indoor range.
And that's my thing. Is like I don't have anywhere around here where I can shoot steel. Like where I live, I'd have to drive at least 2 hours to get somewhere that I could shoot steel. So it's really cool, and that's why I always practice on paper. But it's like, man, it's a lot of fun. I think that's probably the funnest shooting I had was at Lethal Weapons last year, shooting a subgun with the MP5. And they had like a trailer set up where you go inside the trailer. Like that was so cool.
Yeah, Tony, I would say the only feedback I would have is that I don't know. I heard from other squads also is that we didn't take a lunch break. I think we were running behind or something.
We were. That sucked.
And we didn't get to take we didn't get to take a lunch break. So that was. If we didn't bring snacks, man, there was people out there that were they didn't bring nothing with them. So
that part of it. What would you propose as a solution? Would it be starting earlier, ending later, or having a snack truck? Like, when you go to the golf course, they got the snack girls driving around, the drink girls.
That would be cool. That would be cool. I would rather do away with lunchtime. That way it ends sooner. But also at the same time, like you just have people driving around with carts, like
a roach coach.
Yeah. But then also it was weird because we had a log jam at the end where like we were done, and then there was a whole squad still shooting on stage 2, and we were like, "What the hell?" So something happened. I don't know what happened, but
I know exactly what happened, and I think which was really super cool. But it was the
Occam.
The Occam, yes.
That was just there. I feel like that slowed everything down. I mean, it was cool.
I did hear from the RO on that stage that it was creating a bottleneck, because I didn't know what the plan was until I went and saw. And Tony, it seems like what they were doing, they'd have every guy on the squad come up one by one and shoot the bolt gun. And once all that was done, then the whole squad would shoot the stage one after the other. So I think it added quite a lot of time. Not
That's
the way
one
I
of those
would
ideas that we always say it's not a good idea, and they do it anyways.
Well, that definitely
don't do
wasn't that the way he did it was not approved by me. The way I would have done it is how I've usually seen every stage gun done. Kind of like how we did the DSA rifle at Lethal Weapons. You shoot the gun, then you shoot the stage. It's quick. It's a ping a steel there, ping the steel there, and then you step in your box, hands up, you grab your gun, timer goes off.
Yep.
I don't know if it's wise making the whole squad do the demo gun, and then the whole squad jumps right back into the stage.
Yeah, like
I did get a clean shirt out of it though.
Last year, y'all did the shotgun, and that was kind of the thing. Like, but that was at the start of your stage. Like, you started, boom, and then the timer went off.
Yeah, that's how you should incorporate a stage gun. It shouldn't affect your time in any way, but it should happen right before your time starts, so that you get through it. And then what you don't want to happen is when you have vendors that are demoing guns, you're already behind the 8 ball, because most guys shooting the match, they don't want to mess with any demo guns. their minds in the stage. They don't want
Yeah.
to waste time. And you should never, ever, ever, for anyone out there hosting competitions, and you have a vendor that has this bright idea, you should never have the demo gun on the stage where it could affect your time. Never. It's a horrible idea. The gun could jam. It could not be zeroed, whatever. Then you end up throwing the whole stage out. So the way to do it is to have each shooter come up, get their quick little 20 seconds with it. That was fun. And then they step right up. Like literally your gun should be ready to go, staged. Then you do the demo gun, step in the box with hardly any breathing time and go.
Yep.
Isn't that how DSA did it at Lethal
Yes.
Weapons?
That's how they did it.
And also the cannon Possum brought up. I remember that. Was that Lethal Weapons where you had to shoot the blank in the can?
Yep.
I can tell you that last year the shotgun that we had on that one stage that nearly caused me a DQ on that because they had like a super like hair trigger on it. So as I'm picking it up, I'm swiping, and as soon as I swipe, my finger goes right onto the trigger to prep it. Start doing your take up, and as soon as I did that, pow! I was like, oh. So
he even warned us. Remember, he's like, "This thing's got a hair trigger." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Great."
Yep. So I got a little happy as Dan is saying. Yeah, I got a little happy on it.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a getting all those people registered. We ran a little bit late too, so I know that y'all got a late start on that. And I think for us next year, we'll probably just have 6 or 7 tablets, to run through that line of people early in the morning. And I don't think that starting earlier is an option. I think hammer down at 8:00 is about as early as we can go.
Yeah. I think being able to come in on Thursday and registering was
Yeah, I
awesome.
was getting ready to say that.
Absolutely cool.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Hey, I had a question for you guys, and this was something that was brought up from RJ, my buddy, who came down. This was his very first year. His kind of question, or I guess thought, was why could it not be like how KCON, and I don't want to conflate you guys, but how Kalashnikon does theirs, where if you shoot Saturday, you're competing against everybody that shoots Saturday versus everybody that shoots Sunday, instead of compiling all of that. Has there
We
ever
did that at
been,
Lethal Weapons.
yeah, has it been
I like
brought
that.
to bring it over to KB, or is there a reason against it? To me, I'm indifferent, but I just thought that was an interesting take for a first timer.
There's upside and downside to all of these different ways of doing it. To me, the big upside of doing it the way you're saying is more people on the podium. It's like there's a first, second, third every single day, and so that part I like about it. I think it is a little bit more complicated with scoring. At the end of each day, you're going to have a separate award ceremony at the end of every day, which obviously will conflict with what we're doing on Saturday night, doing the Spirit Awards and all that. So I don't know. It's certainly not something we'd say no to. I think there's good and bad, to both. What do you think, Clay?
I would agree.
Yeah. Practice score was we did it at Lethal Weapons, and trying to have an overall for the weekend with 3 separate practice score matches was a bit of a shit show.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
Practice score's got some limitations, and luckily what it appears is if practice score is kind of watching what we're doing and realizing that there's opportunity to add some features and do some things. And so we are working directly with practice score to make some recommendations that will help us to be able to do these kind of make our own rules and do things our own way, not be held back. But for those of y'all who have run matches and used practice score, I'm sure y'all are well aware. It's very limited in a lot of ways.
There's a couple of stories I wanted to read on our social post that we made, where we asked people to actually submit some fun stories. There's a couple here that I actually selected that I thought I would read. One of the stories I remember, I met this guy, and he and his buddy had such a great effect on me. They told me their whole KB story of how they'd watched it year after year and never went. They came this year and had a blast. So I'm going to read his brief story. It's pretty wholesome. He says, "Man, oh man, I have followed KB since its creation and always thought one day I would go. Called my buddy up, bought tickets to camp, and here we go. Only did camping so we could scope it out because neither of us have shot a match before. Friday we got camp set up, grill going, met some awesome neighbors, and cooked some great food. I fed some great people that enjoyed my food enough to win first place at the Top Chef. So this guy actually literally came out for the first time and won the Top Chef award. He made badass tacos and corn. It was amazing.
Very nice.
He then goes on to say, as when Top Chef, they won some amazing prizes. Well, he freaking came out and won a rifle. As time went on and many beers later and saloon shots, my buddy says that I passed out on the grass and he and Brandon Herrera got me to bed. I want to thank Clayco and Kalash Bash and Tony and Dissonant for an amazing first year because we will be back next year to shoot. I remember meeting this dude and his buddy, and they just told me the most awesome story of how they got into AKs. They'd watched the channel. That led to Kalash Bash. That led to him and his buddy are like lifelong friends. They've known each other like 30 years, their whole lives.
Wow.
They come to this thing. You remember his buddy had the big blue cowboy hat on stage.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
These were the guys that were having a reunion after all these years apart. They had a reunion at Clash Bash. Is this the two guys you're talking about?
Yeah, it was something like that. Like this was I remember he pulled us to the side. He says, I just want to thank you guys. This is something that like we don't bring the kids to because KB is an adult thing. He says, man, we're both in our, late 30s, early 40s. This is something that we just got a babysitter. We even came out here without the wives. It's just me and my childhood friend, and we are just having a freaking time. Just
It
the
is
time of our
pure,
life.
unadulterated male fun.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of ladies though. This is not a sausage fest. I really
It's not a
want
sausage fest anymore.
to hammer that home.
There's no judgment. I've met a single person at KB that judges anybody else for what they wear, what they do, nothing. Like different political opinions are out there, different backgrounds, everything. Everybody just comes here because I'm a political extremist. So, but we get along with everybody out there. It is perfect.
You know what's funny? We only got one person who was just bent out of shape about something, and the ironic thing about it was the guy sent an email and he wasn't even there. He just was like sitting on his couch at home and saw something on our social media feed and just shit his fucking diaper and had to write us an email about it. It was like, listen, buddy, like you're not even here. It's like
Go back to moderating Reddit.
Right. The one fucking complaint, like legitimate, or I'm not going to say legitimate complaint, but the one fucking complaint was from a guy that wasn't even there. And he was complaining about what he saw on the social media feed.
Mm-hmm.
So
that sounds like a better moderator.
Right.
Yeah, KB is a safe place. So safe, in fact, that I want to read another story to show you how safe it is.
Does it involve an EMS?
Yes. the second one that had to come to property in 2 days. So we've already had a knee dislocation. That was bad. So we had another incident that happened Saturday night, and I've got the story here. So my man said he was enjoying the Freaks on a Leash concert. He was enjoying the show, and we're moshing a little bit too hard, when it turned into Lord of the Flies with the fire. My boot got caught. I broke my tibia, fibia, and dislocated my ankle in the same move. Luckily, there were so many great people to help me manage, to get me out of there safely. Can't wait for next year. I believe I have a picture of that. Picture doesn't look that bad, but
we were doing an award, and somebody runs up to the side of the stage and said, "Call EMS." And
that's right. It wasn't even the mosh pit.
No. It was when we were in between bands.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so we just had all this moshing.
Yes.
And see that his foot doesn't look that bad. I saw one picture that was way worse. I couldn't find it though.
But it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I walked up to the guys who was sitting there, and they were like, "Tell him to stop touching his foot. Like, tell people to stop touching his foot." These people kept walking up, going, "I think you're all right, man."
That reminds me of Kung Pao, and he's like, "Where does it hurt? Oh, right, bloody spot. Please stop touching it." Oh.
Hey, Clay, put that picture back up. I need to get a screenshot. Maybe I can get some money out of it.
Oh, yeah, there's your feet pics.
There's our first feet pic.
There you go.
Of the night.
So
hey, I still have Tony's feet pic if you want me to post it.
Yeah, somebody made wanted pictures with me and Tony.
Oh,
Tony was like, Tony was top knot Tony, wanted for crimes against
the noodle.
Like,
it was the noodle lady.
Yeah,
No,
Danger
that was,
Noodle.
A noodle lady.
Oh, there
Freedom
she is.
Ping.
Yeah. So mine was like clay toes, 420 or something, and my reward, if your reward for catching me was feet pics, dude. I don't know how many of those flyers she handed out, but every 20 minutes, someone's walking up with the picture Like, do I get them? Do I get them?
Yeah.
I'm like, that is. I didn't make those, dude.
Yeah, Let Freedom Ping was going around with wanted posters as well.
Oh yeah. Another great YouTube channel. Yes.
We should ask Coco Danger Noodle how her Friday night went, right?
Oh yeah,
if
I
I
see stories.
remember that she had the saloon with the freaking doors and everything, and she was just handing out freaking fireball shots. I think
She had a couch.
Yeah, she had a couch.
She won. I think she won best campsite. I believe.
She did.
Right?
Oh yeah.
One best campsite. I remember she had the skulls of all of her exes hanging from a chandelier inside
correct.
the tent.
That is
There
correct.
was like 16 skulls up there.
I love how the campsite has evolved into this, like where people are literally like trailering shit out there to set up their campsite.
Yeah.
Like, that to me is super fucking
Yeah,
cool.
they're LARPing in person. They're LARPing at their tent. Right? That's
well,
also a LARP.
What was funny is that I ended up back there with the MK3 guys, and we were all just hanging out. Brandon ended up popping them for a little bit. I talked to somebody that watches my channel and just really enjoyed all the content that I do. And I was like, oh, that's really humbling. And then next thing I know, I'm getting a shot of fireball, and then there's another one, and then there's another one, and the next thing I know, I'm like sitting down on her couch, and then the next let me tell you, I don't know how I made it to the shower and back, but I did. And then the next morning I had to volunteer for the registration table, and I look over and look who it is.
Oh yeah, she worked with you the next day.
I was like, I remember you.
Hey,
you did this to me.
That brings up a good point. Volunteers, dude. The volunteers this year, like, big shout out to Rachel. Rachel took lead on getting our volunteers signed up. We almost didn't even have to put out into the world that we needed volunteers. She did such a good job of reaching out to people who had volunteered in the past and was able to fill up all of our volunteer slots. This year, it looks like we had about 46 volunteers help us to execute the event. And that's like, think about 2019, Clay. We had nobody, to go from 0 to 46 over a couple of years. Like, dude, how did we do it with nobody?
Yeah, and I can tell you that just this year, talking to certain people, it's like, hey, I got to break away, I got to go volunteer or whatever the case may be. I've had so many people come to me and it's like, how do I volunteer? How do I help? So I was like, man, I'll let you know. So that was really cool too, to see so many other people wanting to help.
Yeah. It's cool having so many familiars. Like, I think when you arrive to Kalash Bash and you see someone you recognize, volunteering back there, I think that really means a lot. And you were there. You were at registration.
Yes, sir. Yep. That's kind of this is the third year that I've done that, and I just really enjoy shooting on Friday. Kind of let loose a little bit on Friday night. Have a couple beers, and then volunteer in the morning, and then Saturday is all the festivities, and that's when you can really let loose. So
one of the really cool things about volunteering is you get a staff shirt.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And a staph infection.
I got one of those.
Hey, something I wanted to talk about while we're telling stories. I'm not going to speak for everyone. I could speak for myself that I think there was a breakout vendor this year that had a pretty unbelievable product. For me, that was Stenzel Industries, dude.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That was something I've been following those guys. Let me pull up their Instagram here. I remember seeing, it's been several years. In fact, if you scroll way, way back, you'll probably find pictures from way back. I mean, these pictures are old, dude. Like, these pictures from SolidWorks. This is 43 weeks ago. Old post.
Dude, you'll find us in the comment section being like, bring that shit to Kalash Bash from years ago.
Right. Long time ago. I mean,
everybody said it was vaporware.
Yeah, 236 weeks ago was when they first started. I remember somebody, I don't remember who, told me you got to see Stenzel like 3 or 4 years ago when the Instagram just popped up. I remember they had no followers. It looked like vaporware, like some mystery company. And I'll be honest, I totally blew it off for a while. And then it was maybe a year or two ago, Tony and I just started DMing them like, yo, if this is real, like you should really go to KB. You really should. Anyway, fast forward to current time. I think it was Jeremy with X Tech put me in contact with Joe Stenzel,
Such a
and
good dude.
we got to talking. And on the phone, Joe's a very reserved guy. He's not super animated. He's just kind of right to the point. Kind of has that northern Wisconsin kind of accent and feel to him. And he told me he might have like 10 samples at that time that he's ever put together, and he was scrambling, and he thought maybe I could make KB. And then it turned into, I think I want to go to KB. And then it turned into, I think we're actually going to be at KB, but I don't know if we're going to get all these guns done in time. Anyway, they ended up making it, and they sent us a 12-inch version, which would be this one right here. They sent us a 12-inch version of this gun, dude, the SAK-21. And I remember when it showed up to the shop, I was by myself, and I was honestly afraid to open the box because I followed it so long. I won't name names, but I've seen guns come in for prizes, or I've had guns come in for review. You look at them up close and you're just like, damn, this is kind of like one of those don't meet your heroes kind of products. I remember having that thought. I'm like, this thing's not going to live up to the hype. I open it, and it had like the glow from Pulp Fiction. And I was just like, holy shit, this thing is very nice. Like, the first thing that came to mind was if Q actually gave a shit about AKs and decided to make the best AK they could make, this is what they would come up with.
Yep.
I literally, and because the one they sent had the cherry bomb muzzle device, like it was the same color. Tony's got one of those, I think it's a pork sword, your Q bolt gun, Tony.
I've got a pork sword for sure.
Right. I remember sitting it next to that going, these look like they came out of the same factory. Like, this is incredible. It was so well made, so finely machined. Cross bolt safety, bolt hold open, special followers you can insert in your mags, and now your bolt stays open. Ambi bolt release, crazy gas system, two position gas system that was tuned. Each setting was tunable with a set screw. I don't remember seen that before.
Changeable calibers.
Changeable calibers, like you see these two bolts here. You can actually swap barrels with the trunnion, so it all stays headspace, and then you can swap a new one in and just torque it back down to spec. Barrel lengths, calibers, it's all a modular system. And then, I remember thinking, okay, well, it looks really nice. Does it shoot good? And holy crap, dude. After shooting it, I'm a freaking believer. That is one of the softest shooting 7.62s I've ever felt. Didn't even have a muzzle brake on the one that I was shooting. And it was like, you hear of so many people saying we're going to modernize the AK. This isn't even an AK anymore. This is a short stroke thing that takes AK mags. That's on a whole nother level. It was so impressive. It was incredible. And it wasn't just me saying that. Like, every person that visited their booth came over to me and was like, holy shit. Like, this thing is
look at
insanely
the
good.
Scroll up a little bit, Clay. And you got that picture of the Aware after 5,000 rounds over that weekend.
Very top, yeah, right in the middle.
And what's cool is you'll notice the firing pin's free floated. It's not connected to the bolt. It's actually pinned into the carrier, which I thought was interesting. The carrier has a little extra beef on it to act as a dust cover, so you don't have a leaf spring safety because there's no hole in the receiver that you'd have to cover up anyway. That it just doesn't exist like an AK. But yeah, this is after what, 5,000 rounds, Jacob?
That's 5,000 rounds over that weekend, of everybody shooting. That's full auto.
Yeah, and the thing was, there was just like nothing to write home about.
That's got DLC. All that's all DLC coding.
She went to bed.
The wait list just went crazy for them things, man.
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, and then, Tomislav won one of these for Spirit Animal this year.
Who's this guy?
And
Who's that joker?
If Tomislav is watching this, he's got to run that next year for Kalash Bash. That's the rules. You win a rifle, you got to run it next year for KB.
Hey, if he gets to run it, I'm gonna buy one. And I'm gonna run mine too.
Dude, I want to buy one. Like, I will definitely buy one if I can.
Oh, I already talked to the guys. I'm like, hey, I want to get on the list. I will overpay for that thing.
You'll pay streamer.
Dude,
I don't care.
Sometimes these things come around and the price tag and like what you're getting, like we will have one of these. Like I will have one of these. This gun was so freaking amazing. Very rarely I've usually it's like the idea is really good and the execution does not jive. with the idea. This is an example of like the execution exceeded what we all thought
100%.
of, like how cool of an idea. Like they went above and beyond on execution. Like we will absolutely have one of those in inventory. Like what an amazing gun. And I feel like when Stenzel came out, they were like expecting one thing from Kalash Bash, and it far exceeded their expectations too. Like the feedback that people were giving them, the experience of it. You know, I do want to bet you we'll see them back. Like Stenzel should be back next year for sure.
And that 12-inch version is the one to get. That's perfect.
Oh yeah.
The one Tommy won.
Yeah, the one Tommy won
is the exact version
Man,
that I would
I'm
own.
so jelly because Midwest is gonna make content on it, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that explodes his channel, man.
Yeah, it will.
Ridiculous.
Rodrigo, we're gonna get a couple samples in for review. Just come to the range with me that day. I'll let you lube it up for me.
I'm gonna share a little something juicy. We can't share too much about it. I'm not gonna go too crazy into it. I'll let Clay add if he wants to. But on the opposite end, the Stenzel comes in, and it's like amazing. Like we're shitting ourselves looking at this thing. We've been able to play with it. I'm even tempted to go to the shop before we send this gun out to Tommy and just try to get a little bit of content on the one that we have as well. But we received a gun from a vendor that was a total piece of shit.
Ooh, let's do tell.
Not
A
gonna
big
name
time
names.
piece of shit.
Not gonna name names.
We're not going to name names, but it's the first time ever that we rejected it. Like we said, we're not accepting this. This is too much of a piece of shit. We won't say who it was, but
put your guesses in the comment section.
yeah, put your guesses in the comment section.
Oh damn! Can I guess too?
We're literally gonna have to make right with somebody who would have received that, who's not going to receive that, because we're not going to put our name on that.
And I'll give you a
Leave it at
hint.
that. Yeah.
It's not Meridian Defense because they didn't even show up. Hey.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Damn.
Someone literally said that.
Man, you know what was
didn't come out.
You know what was so weird is that, man, when we went to SHOT Show, they were so hyped about going. I was kind of pumped. I was like, oh shit, Meridian's gonna come. They were all like so hyped. I think they just got in their heads. The event was probably just too much for them.
Or maybe they weren't ready to unveil something that they were planning on unveiling, and they just weren't ready for it.
That's more like it right there. But
yeah,
that's what I think. Is that they had it? They had full intentions on unveiling a really cool gun, and if they couldn't get it ready in time, maybe it was easier, I guess, for them to maybe just not show up. Like, think about like Stenzel. Like he was telling us, bro, like the day before we had to travel, we're making sure these guns were slapped together. Like we barely had enough time. And they came out and crushed. Like, I'm just, for any potential vendor out there that might want to go to any event at all, like,
talk to them.
Just like if you're gonna book yourself for an event, there's ways to dip out way in advance, and there's ways to not dip out. Just don't dip out early, and have a good excuse. Because I'll tell you, everyone makes sacrifices for events. I'm sacrificing my time. Tony is. All these people on this chat are taking days off work. They're all sacrificing money, flights, what they paid, and ammo and tickets. Everyone's sacrificing. Even if you can't get your stuff ready, if you said you were going to be there, just be there. Come hang out. Like, people won't judge you if you can't have stuff done in time. Just be there.
Yeah,
that's my advice. Yeah,
and I mean they do have inventory that's still good, right? They could have just brought what they had. They didn't have to. They didn't have to bring something new. Just show up.
Yep. By the way, Stenzel's in the comments. I just want to just kind of say to y'all, since you're here and everyone's watching, y'all came correct. You had table covers, flags. I really appreciate the amount of time and effort that y'all put into communicating with us. And you guys really did a phenomenal job out there. So thank y'all. And we're excited to see what comes of you guys over the next couple months, and looking forward to getting a sample at the shop.
Yeah, and put us all on the list.
Yes, all of us on the list.
I don't need to keep one. I just want a demo. I want to take it to the range. I'll send it back to you.
I want to buy it.
No, I want to buy it too.
Oh,
the 12-inch.
I'll try to buy one, but let me try it before I buy it.
So what about a non-firing vendor? Were there any like vendors that y'all feel like really like made a connection out there that weren't on a firing line?
I have one. I think Raiders Arms with those carbon fiber
Yes.
parts.
Yeah.
That's what I was
He
thinking.
came
of.
out
I
of
figured that's
he
what
came
you
out
were
of left field. He has a tiny channel,
Mm-hmm.
and man, seeing him up close, those parts are actually pretty freaking cool. The carbon fiber gas tube that he made, I thought was such an interesting, smart part. Certainly for guys trying to make like race guns, it's a drop-in part that just instantly drops weight and still does exactly what you need it to do and looks cool. I thought that was really cool because he came out of left field.
Not only
Yeah, he
that,
was
is
before
the heat absorption of those things, like it doesn't get hot. Like I have a couple that should be here next week or this week coming to check out. I'll see what I'm gonna throw it on, but from what I'm hearing, they do not like build up heat. Like they don't get hot on your hands. So
Yeah, and we I picked a complete rifle up with their carbon fiber stock and the handguard and a carbon fiber barrel as well, and then handed it to Doug, and he was like, "Is this a toy?" I was like, "Is this like airsoft?" And I was like, "No, that's the rifle. It's crazy light."
Oh, well, who? No, okay, stuffing things. That the P50
That was a really cool booth.
is badass. Like the P50, like so they make you buy the Keltec P50, and then you just buy their lower receiver for it, and that thing was absolutely awesome. Like
That was the
so
most
cool.
popular gun at their booth, the 5.7 gun that they had.
Yes.
It
That
was
was so cool. It's like it brings the Halo vibes, from that side. Oh, it was so cool.
I waited in line to shoot. Sunday, I like put a beanie on, and I could just walk around, and people didn't know who I was. So I walked over there, and I wanted to shoot the Stiphard, their Gepard clone.
Yeah.
I bet you, I waited in line for 10 people. I'm the only one that wanted to shoot it. Everyone was shooting that 5.7 gun, and it was full auto.
Yeah, it was
But, super cool gun.
They're also coming out with a trip kit for it that allows you to run a super safety in it. So that one was obviously full auto, but he's doing a trip kit for it to either, I guess, make it full auto if you got your SOT or run a super safety or FRT in it.
LM Ironworks has their like straight up bison.
That's right.
Yep. And so
we're excited to get them out there.
I thought that someone I was told that someone ran it in the competition. Did someone run one of those at the subgun match? Did you guys hear?
I'm sure someone did. I believe he said somebody was running one of his guns at the match.
Yeah.
I know someone run the Gepard at the match.
That would be cool. I would have loved to seen that.
I see people in the comments that are talking about Mark Krebs. I think it's so special that he's out there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What's even cooler is I just looked at my squad for KCON, and Mark is shooting in my squad.
No way.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
That's really cool to see.
I think Krebs is like, he's one of the last, he's like the greatest. Yeah. And dude, if you got a chance to talk to that dude in person, take the opportunity to talk to that dude because he's not going to be around forever, so if you got an opportunity, I mean, he's been to Russia, all that good stuff. Like
he sat on Mikhail Kalashnikov's couch
and ate sandwiches drunk. Yeah. He was hungover from the night before, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Mark, when he's at KB, he's literally reminds me of like the Godfather that everyone comes to see. All the big vendors went like on their lunch breaks, all eventually try to go have a little bit of time with Mark because everyone knows how special he is and how special it is that he's still around. And he's more active in the community now than he was like 10 years ago. When Illinois made it so difficult for people to own guns like that, he lost so much business. All of his business is online now. So he started realizing like, oh shit, I have to be active online and I have to go find customers again. I have no more local sales. Mm-hmm. And it was a blessing and a curse. I think he's more popular now than he was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I think he's had an explosion in popularity lately.
People need to buy his stuff. He's got those Mark 23s are incredible. I can't wait to grab one.
Yes.
Something his wife told me that I didn't know about him and I probably should have known about him is that Mark is also kind of a legend in the 1911 world. So he
Yep.
does custom 1911s, and his wife says every once in a while you'll see a Krebs 1911 pop up on Gunbroker,
Oh wow, I didn't know
and
that.
he's got a special engraving, or it's like an embossment that he does on his custom builds that's not what you see on the Krebs guns. And she's like, if you ever have a build that he does that's like a custom build, he does custom embossments on those guns that are like a special. I'm not going to say what it is on the live stream, but I told her, I was like, I'm going to have to reach out to him and try to commission something, even if it's a 1911 or a 2011, and be like, I got a Mark Krebs 1911, you know. But apparently he's a legend in that space too, and that's what he did before, like in the beginning of AKs. So
I was driving home on Monday, got into Dallas Sunday night, slept on my buddy's couch, got up in the morning. As I'm driving home, my buddy here in town sends me a picture of a converted Saiga that Mark Krebs did that ended up in my local shop. And they're like, do you want it? And I'm like, I'm on my way home right now. And by the time I got home, someone else had come in and swept it up underneath me. But they're friends to the shop, so it's not a hard. Didn't bother me too much. But just to be able to see those out in the wild is really super cool as well.
Thank you, lover.
And then also to see up and comers too, like Zach Schaefer going over and talking with Mark,
Yeah.
picking his brain. I thought that was really cool.
There's a cool picture of them like talking about some small part. I think Possum got the photo, and I remember he originally said, I think I'm going to caption this like passing the torch.
Mm-hmm.
But then he eventually said helping other torches burn brighter.
Mhm.
Thought that was a much better caption, because Mark ain't going nowhere. He ain't passing the torch just yet.
Yeah. And you know what? How lucky is it that Tommy and all those guys, you get to hang out with him at his shop all the time? They're like working on Jeeps and shit.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mark's got
That
homies
makes
now.
me
Mark's
feel
always
good.
talking about his friends. He's like, my friends come by, we work on Jeeps and shit, you know?
Well, it's funny. I went to a gun show today, and there was a like pristine Tantal by DC
DC Industries.
Yeah, DC Industries, and they wanted $2,000 for it. So I dropped it into one of the group DMs, and Midwest Savage was like, Mark's eyes just kind of brightened up a little bit as soon as you said Tantal, and I was like, oh yeah, man, let me get you a picture. But I started looking into it a little bit further, and I was just like, man, $2,000. There's a couple little things I'm not comfortable with, so I had to pass on it. But the point is that Midwest is in his shop just hanging out, and he's like, oh, Mark wants to see a picture, you know.
That's cool.
Well, I have a favor. No one ever take over his Instagram, because I love when Mark makes Instagram posts.
Show that one you showed me forever ago. What was that? Where he like walks around with it?
Yes, it's the best thing he's ever posted. I gotta find it.
He like takes a video of something and just like continues to walk around with it like in his hand, and then
He walks around the shop filming.
Yeah.
Hey, so speaking about Krebs, this is the first year that he remembered who I was. He always thought I was Midwest Savage.
You got the perfect shot on your glasses because you're wearing Metas.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, Mark, and he's like, you
Midwest-
are Midwest Savage, and you're like, ooh, how'd you know? Like, you got to send that to Jamie and make him feel bad.
I did. Jamie said he was on the phone with him because he's working for him now, right? So he's like, you don't know who I am?
Oh, that's too funny.
Oh, Rachel,
I think another like kind of lifer like Krebs, but I think someone who's important to know is Scott with RS Regulate.
Been around a long time.
Yeah, and with a great story, you know, his story and how he got started, and like this guy is like a SolidWorks. I think that's basically what he does for a living is SolidWorks. So if you ever wonder why like his product is like just overdone all the way over the top, he's truly an artist, but just also a really, really great guy too.
Rachel's sending us the Krebs post. I'll have it here shortly.
I just like when Mark will post a picture of like one of his homies, and it'll just be a random picture, and I'll be like, "Good guy, good guy."
Rachel's got that ban hammer out.
Who are we banning today?
I don't know. She's at it.
I saw
yeah.
that she knocked somebody off a little bit earlier.
Rachel's the moderator, dude.
Hey, I've got a couple more little stories. So I had a guy come up to where I was announcing the hot colds, and he was like, "Hey, I locked my keys in my truck."
Oh,
And I'm fixing to be in a match, in the subgun match at 12. And so Clark, the at the ranch, man, he was so helpful. I just hit him up on the walkie-talkies. I was like, "Hey, we got somebody that locked their keys in their truck." He just gave me the description, and he goes, "Hey, give me 30 minutes. I'm gonna go unlock it." And he had all the tools to do it. He unlocked the truck. And then, I mean, that guy was like in the match. And then I did end up with 2 wallets, for lost and found. And people came up to me looking for their wallet. And they were like so impressed that like nobody took anything out of their wallet. Everything was still in there. They were like, it was such an amazing feeling that they were so happy to get their property back without nothing missing out of it.
Mhm.
So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think the guy who locked the keys in his car, he ended up winning. He ended up podium on one of the subgun stages, I think. So
We found something else Sunday. Do you guys remember that?
It's a Glock.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, dude, that was hilarious.
It was right. I think it was right before the Sunday awards ceremony.
No, it was at the end when everyone was saying their goodbyes. We were all standing there.
Right. So one of the ROs comes over with a little bag, and he's like, "Found someone's concealed carry parking lot. You might want to make an announcement." So he showed it to me, and it was like a Glock 43 or something with a really shitty black paint job that was all flaking off, like it's like a distinctive looking gun. So we go put it in the office, and I come back and make the announcement. Well, like an hour later, some dude finally, like, he waits for the crowd to really get dead, and he kind of like tiptoes over there, and he's like, "Hey, can I talk to you inside for a second?" And I was like,
We're all in a circle, like in the middle of a conversation. He's like, "Clay,
Yeah.
can I talk to you in private?"
"Yeah." I'm like, "Okay."
We're all like, "Ooh."
Yeah. So we go inside, and he goes, "I think I might be the dummy that lost his gun." Oh, okay. I said, "Can you give me a minute?" So we go get it. No. I go try to find it, and it's not where I left it. I've sat it on a desk in Clark's office, and I look, and the gun's gone. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
So I walk outside, and the guy's like, "Where's my gun?" I'm like, "It's not where I left it. So now we both lost your gun. So give me a second." I'm like,
You had to ask David. David had it.
So, dude, Clark comes inside. I'm like, "Clark, where's the gun?" And he's like, I don't know. Clark looks around, dude. I go on the back porch. He's like, "David put it somewhere." Now this dude's following me around as I'm telling people, "Where's the gun this dude lost?" And now more and more people know. So now I go on the back porch and I shout at Dave, who's now in the middle of the crowd. I'm like, "Dave, where's the gun?" He's like, "What gun?" "The gun that you found in the parking lot. It's not where I left it." "Oh, I put it in the closet. Is that the guy?" I'm like, "I got the guy right here." He's like, "Yeah, it's in the closet." And the guy's just going, "Damn."
this guy right here,
Yeah.
He got roasted.
Dude, the
He
crowd
got
goes,
roasted.
"Boo this man. Boo." So he goes inside, and they're like, "Describe the gun." He's like, "It's a Glock." And they're like, "A lot of people have Glocks." And he's like, "It's a Glock 43. And they're like, "A lot of people have those." He goes, "It has a really shitty paint job." And they're like, "That's enough for me." And they go get it, and they hand it to him. And the dude, like, no goodbyes. He fucking took off.
No, I think they kicked him off the property.
Yeah, he was so embarrassed.
He had to go. Part of the ranch rules. He's got to go.
Yep.
Got to
Damn.
get out of here.
Yep.
Well, it's better than the ATF guy from last year. Was it last year or 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Oh man, yeah,
2
that's been a
years.
while ago. Did you guys notice in the registration room that dollar's framed on the wall right behind you with a picture of him?
Yep.
Man, I can't believe we still had that guy. Still hasn't like come up and just been like, "All right, I'm ready to tell my story." You know, like I'm not gonna lie, Rachel and I went through like all of the people's emails and shit, and we started looking people up to try to see if we could figure out who this guy was. Like the closest we got was some guy that was like from Europe, and we're like, "Damn, you know, maybe that's what." You know, I don't know. We tried.
There was one story I thought was funny. When Rodrigo got called up on stage, I think it was for New Boot Goofing because you were literally dressed like Dangle and you had a nice pair of boots on.
Yeah.
So we called up 3 people that had some killer boots. I think your original plan, you had ordered a fake set of nuts that were supposed to hang out of your shorts, but they didn't.
Oh my god, I got them. Shit, no, they're not here.
So we didn't know this till later, but he ordered a fake set of nuts that were gonna slap between his legs all day. So he comes up on stage and he does the whole New Boot Goofing thing, 3 payments, and he pulls out this gigantic sperm and he throws it into the crowd.
I kicked it into the crowd.
In the crowd, and I see it like get batted around a little bit, and then I don't see the sperm anymore. Like 3 days later, Micah Mayfield posts a story where he's at the campsite and it's like empty, and he's like, "Ugh, what is this? Hey, Brandon, here you go." And he hands it to Brandon Herrera, and he goes, "Ooh, my favorite." And I sent it to Rodrigo. I'm like, "Bro, I think you got Brandon pregnant."
Oh my god, that was so funny. Dude, I had that sperm in my pants all day. I was just waiting for the right moment.
Waiting to get that poison out.
I was waiting to get that poison out. No, that was so fun, man. That was really fun.
There is a really funny story, Rodrigo, that it was something you said that really put the cherry on top, but it happened to Rachel in the middle of the corn band, I believe. Or no, maybe it was the Rage band. I don't remember.
She's so mad. She's like, "Don't tell that story."
Corn.
We're gonna tell that story.
You want me to say it? I can say it. All right. So
we were all there. We
Yes.
We all saw it from a different, angle. But yeah,
we're all there. So it's freezing cold, right? It's Saturday night, freezing cold, and I remembered that we had those ski masks, right? That we put on the targets. So I tell Rachel, I said, "Hey, Rachel, let's go get some of those out of the storage so that we can hand them out to people because people are freezing their balls off." And Rachel was like, "Yeah, that's cool. Let's go." So we go all the way down to the Humpin' Dolphins. We get all those, or actually, it wasn't the Humpin' Dolphins. It was the Stage 2 clubhouse. We come back and I give her, she's got hers. She's going to share. She was trying to do a good thing, right? She was trying to do a good thing by handing those out. And then she disappears. And then I'm like, so I'm looking for like 20 feet away. And I'm like, man, what the hell? Why is everybody kicking the freaking towel around in the mosh pit? It was like a freaking towel just getting trampled in the mosh pit. I was like, what the hell is going on down there?
Baby Rach.
Yes. And she even had, so the only thing that I remembered was like, oh, fuck. Rachel had a pink beanie on. That's not a towel. That's Rachel.
Dude,
she was
some
wearing
drunk guy was running around and he put his arm around Rachel like this and someone else. And the first person kind of was able to break out, but Rachel wasn't. And this guy basically had her in a headlock and like dragged her into the mosh pit. And Rachel just like hits it, dude. She hits the ground like this. She didn't even like get up. She just was like,
dude, she got kicked around for like half of that song. Oh, she just came up like Mr. Bean.
oh my gosh. And Clay, I remember you were like, you thought she ran into the mosh pit.
I thought she was moshing. I come over all mad. I'm like, "Why did you think moshing was a good idea?" She's like, "I didn't mean to."
I didn't mean to, poor thing.
Oh gosh.
Oh man.
That was so.
Are you okay, Rachel?
You all right, babe? Yeah, she's all right.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Good. Man, that was
good.
Oh man,
that was a good story.
I think Possum pretty much like was like following that guy around afterwards. Like I'm pretty sure I saw Possum like try to retaliate against that guy at some point.
I think he was throwing some elbows.
Yeah.
Hey, and going back to Clark, man, he came in clutch that night. After my relatives ran out of tacos, uh, they were jamming out on their radio the whole day, and so their battery went dead. And so I was like, this was like 11:30. I was like, hey Clark, can you come and jump the taco truck? And Clark was like, I'm on my way. I was like, damn, this dude's everywhere. He helped out so much. I mean, he was there. He jumped their truck, and then they were able to enjoy the festivities.
I remember seeing your relatives from the taco truck headbanging while Rise Against the Machine was playing.
They don't even listen to that music. They just wanted to go over there.
Dude, they got the best damn food. Holy crap.
They have some good food, that's for sure.
I've never even tried anything else at KB. I just always eat the Mexican food.
So, I mean, let's go around the horn. What's everybody's favorite food?
Quesadillas.
There you go. Nice.
Man,
So-
this year that Mama Noodles, I ate it 3 times. That was some good ass shit. Everything was good, but that was good.
That
So
mama was hot too.
I had the barbecue, and they had their mac and cheese barbecue, like sausage, their mac and cheese sausage, and so it's just like, you know, a bratwurst with mac and cheese in it, and I'm like, that doesn't sound good. Dude sliced up some while I was picking up my sandwich, and he's like, here, just try it. And he just handed me a whole handful of it. So good. So good. Best barbecue ever.
Yeah, Matt's good at it. I think all the food this year was really good.
Yeah.
The hot dog guy kind of dropped the ball. He set up kind of late, but the Asian truck, the taco truck, and the barbecue burgers was all awesome. I ate every single one of them multiple times.
Yeah, they were really good.
I've seen several comments about the Asian truck being really good.
And she stayed open so late, even at the campsite.
And I think there was even some issues with them, right? At the last minute, they decided to show up or something. So I'm glad they went.
We thought they were going to no-show. Rachel,
Yeah.
they were like playing with Rachel's emotions, but they finally showed up.
Yeah.
We're way past the 2-hour mark.
Yeah,
So
I'm about to go to
get
bed.
close to wrapping up.
Clay, I just got a text from Micah Mayfield with the video from Kalash Bash for us to look at.
The full video?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, he's working overtime.
Yeah, it looks awesome. One last thing I wanted to ask everyone just for feedback. Did everyone have fun with the tattoos? Like, it looked like they were pretty busy the whole time. Is there anybody in the comments that got a tattoo from Paul and his team?
Senpai did.
Senpai did. He got there was a couple people we ran into, Mark, that had them.
Yep.
Did anyone get their butthole tattooed?
No, they couldn't because they had a sign that said arms and legs only.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, because I was trying to give him some, I may have said something I shouldn't have.
I think the most popular tattoo I saw this year was the safety swipe with the Cyrillic that showed full auto and
Oh, that was
semi,
cool.
the 2 notches. I think Micah got it right on the web of his hand. That was a pretty clever tattoo that Paul came up with.
Yeah,
I saw that in the worm.
Babushka got it.
Yeah, Babushka kid got it.
Yeah.
I was sad he wasn't dressed up in his Macho Man outfit this year.
He's going through a bit of a renaissance, the Babushka.
Yeah.
His body's changing. He's growing up.
He's
Yeah.
growing up, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, oh my God, Delta
Oh.
Tech, chill.
Oh,
$100.
shit.
$100? Can we split that 5 ways?
He and his partner were super great dudes at KB. He says, make the ass tattoo a permanent staple. Official sponsorship opportunity over every year. I'll sponsor one when restocked. Price should scale the size and placement of the tat. Well, Possum, it ain't like you've gotten a tattoo for anything less or anything more than that, honestly. So I think he got Polnair Tactical tattooed on his ass for like a shout out on Instagram. So Delta Tech, you can consider that ass tatted at this point.
Damn, he still has the whole left cheek.
That ass is tatted. Oh look, Big Papa Fluffy. He's a tattoo artist. He'll do it.
Oh yeah.
All right, Possum.
Hey, I got a question for the panel, and maybe this is a good one to wrap up on. But for each of y'all, what would you pick for the theme for next year?
Ooh.
I actually saw it in the comments, and I really, really liked it. And it was Mad Max.
Well, that's just an
kinda
idea.
Like 29 though.
Yeah.
That's well. Oh, let's see. I got it. Victorian era.
Like
putting a shrimp on the
blinders?
Barbie?
Huh?
like
Putting a shrimp on the Barbie?
I'm trying to think. Outside the box here because
you're thinking like Peaky Blinders type of thing.
yeah. Well, that's kind of also Western though. At the same time.
Big Papa Fluffy, go what?
Yeah, go watch.
G-Wat,
Oh, actual.
G-Wat.
And hey, AK every day got a point. Actual Russian theme. Like I got all this shit. Like
So does he.
so to see. Yeah, we both got all the shit. Like look at all this shit. I can't even put no more shit.
I had Russian people I've been pen pals with for a long time. When I shared your post with the DP in full kit, guys sending me all these messages going, "We can't even get any of that shit here."
Yeah.
I don't get all that shit.
Yeah, one of the dudes, he commented. I'm like, "Are you from Russia?" He's like, "Yeah." Like, we can't. Where'd you get your patch at? Like, where'd you get your 6S and all this stuff? And I'm like, he's like, I want to get Tiger Stripe, and I want to get like, I guess he's talking about like this G-Watt stuff. I was like, I can scratch your back, you scratch mine. You know what I mean?
Doc says Vietnam.
I
So-
like all the ideas.
Tony, what have been the themes as far as you can remember for all the KBs? What have been all the themes? I didn't go to all of them, so what have been the themes?
It's kind of relatively like a new thing that we've been leaning into. In the beginning, it was just people started dressing up, and we were like, all right. It was really more of an inspiration behind the artwork. Like, how do we? So, like, not the one that just happened, but before that, we did a lot of AI artwork, and we did like cyberpunk, so the future 2069. What was before that? Like, we didn't really do like a.
I don't think I remember that because I've been to 3 and I only remember cyberpunk.
We used to have a super flaky artist, and one year KB was going to be heavily Russian themed.
See, I would like a heavy Russian theme, or even like this one. This guy said the Crusades.
I like that.
That would be dope. Like, everybody in like with their can helmet, with the cross.
What about
like Kalash Bash the Dark Ages or something?
Yeah.
what about like
Dude,
a
Doom, the
Viking
Dark
theme? Like a Viking theme, like Ragnarok. That would be so badass.
Do you Tony, do you remember why we didn't do the Russian theme that year? Like we had the artwork was done, the map was all Russian themed. Like I wish we probably still have that artwork somewhere, but we paid a guy to do all of it. We had like I remember the pamphlet looked like some like USSR shit. It had like cigarette burns in it and coffee stains. Like it looked like some KGB shit. And I remember we were about to launch everything, and then Russia invaded Ukraine.
Yeah.
Right as we were about to start hyping, we were like, we might want to change the theme this year. Just
Right.
do something different this year. But
Yeah,
we were going to do it.
I will break out my Ratnik kit next year if we do. I promise I'd never wear it to KB again because it's so fucking miserable. But I will wear it again next year.
I like where Delta Tech's head's at. Probably the same reason why it might not be a good idea next year.
Yeah. This is what I will say is I like the idea of going back in time and then doing something futuristic and then back in time, maybe just kind of going back and forth. So like we did Cyberpunk, 2069 in 2024. This one, we went back to the 1800s. So I definitely think that like going back into something, that's why I liked the Mad Max idea, the post-apocalyptic. Plus, that's such a broad theme.
You can do Fallout.
Anybody can
Fallout.
fucking do that one,
I think the Fallout, Mad Max, Fury Road all ties together because I mean, think about it. Like Battlefield pickup AKs are made for that theme. I think most people already have something that fits that theme, and that's a fun costume to build.
Yeah.
Think of the campsites that could pop up out of that, like
Yeah.
some wasteland style
Think
campsite.
of
That would be pretty
think
cool.
of the Sean Connery LARPs that could be out there.
Right. And there's
I
so
don't
many
know.
movies.
I'm kind of digging the Crusades. That's pretty cool. I think that's a good idea. Have the King Baldwin look, you know?
We just do like Ren Fair with AKs, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right. I think next time we go to the past, that's an awesome one. You know, that would be fucking sick.
Everybody just walks around doing this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, King Baldwin.
Right.
I've got my full Ren Fair costume. I would just wear
I mean,
that.
how many guys do you think are going to be showing up like this?
Right.
We've already had that. A
Yeah.
guy dressed
Yeah,
up like that
was Borat.
Oh, really?
So I think also the other funny thing we were talking about is like if you did something like a Mad Max theme, what you could do is have valet parking for the people whose cars come in rolled in like that, and give them like a special tag, and they get to park their cars up front, like in special parking. So people like could spend the year making like these like just sick war wagons, right, and
Oh, that
roll
would
up
be
and park
cool.
them. Like that could be really fucking cool.
All right, Mark, or Rodrigo, I guess we're going to invest in a semi.
Right. Think of all the people who are starting to ride around on these electric bikes this last event. Like how many people had those shits?
Dude, I will 100% get an electric mountain bike for next year.
Yeah.
Fuck all that walking with that 30
Right.
fucking gun.
I'm
Of
sure
course,
the
Mark-
venue is
Mark-
going to have an opinion about that and say, hey, you know, we're going to have to figure out how to manage that. Because can you imagine if there are like 100 people riding around on their fucking scooters and shit everywhere?
Oh man, it's
Having
almost
jousting
necessary.
matches.
Right.
Yeah, I love Possum says Gimps BDSM. We've got, like,
Ooh.
already got the costume.
I like that one. Turbo says Warhammer 40K theme.
Oh,
That would be dope.
for the Emperor.
For the Emperor, burn the heretics. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Man, so many ideas. I
Mhm.
just need to contact St. Arnold. They have a bunch of cars they can take over there.
So I think one of the best ways that you probably could go about this is to just like put out a post and let people comment all their different ideas and then compile those into like the top 4 and then let the community vote on it.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
Or we can just do it. Just go
Yeah.
Mad Max.
Or just make an executive decision.
Hey, you know, would it be too bad if I dressed up as the little guy on the wheelchair? You remember on Fury Road, there's a little wheelchair dude. That way,
Like the oxygen tank.
Yes, I would totally do that, and then I could just. But you guys would have to give me the wheelchair.
You can hear Rachel in the background dying.
We'll get you an electric one, dude.
Give me an electric one. I'll LARP as that guy all weekend. I'll
Can
even
you-
shoot the match.
Could you imagine the LARP possibilities? Like part of your LARP is having someone push you around everywhere.
Dude, and you just take the penalties on the stages.
Right. You're shooting.
Yeah.
All right, left.
Like,
Yeah.
like the horse, you know, you're like, what do I do? I just take a time penalty.
Yeah.
He was one of my favorite. I love that little guy.
Another interesting idea that someone threw out there was like doing an event where the theme is memes, where it's like everything is a meme. It's like your LARP is some type of meme, whatever that is. If it's a gun meme or whatever.
This is fine.
Right.
The world's burning
Yeah.
down.
Right.
I'm just
Someone
gonna dress as a
come
dump.
showed up as Homer Simpson with the bush, you know?
yeah.
Hey,
Ooh,
Mark
Mark,
can do the
Mark could just walk around
Kermit.
sipping tea like the
Sipping
Kermit
tea.
sipping tea.
Yeah.
That's none of my business.
Oh my god.
What were we saying?
Oh fuck.
H-Town, what were we saying?
No, same thing Clay said about
Oh.
the sipping tea
Oh,
Kermit.
the Kermit? Yeah.
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 We could do like a insane clown posse, like the Gathering, just hijack their thing and have everybody show up like that.
Oh my goodness.
So you remember we
like,
tried the face
mandatory
paint the
face
one year,
paint.
and I thought the Juggalo face paint would be more popular. There might have been like 5 dudes that fully committed to it that were just walking around all normal with Juggalo face paint, and I'm like, man, it seemed like a way better idea at the time.
Oh gosh, that would have been funny.
Oh, there he is, the combat wombat.
Yep. And we made every RO say his entire name that he put into practice score.
It was like 3 sentences.
Yeah. And that one girl was like,
Do I have to read
Do I have to
this?
say this? We're like, yes.
Yes.
Oh, hey, the best thing was on the stage with the hookers. The little girl was reading the description.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that was
I
so
was
funny.
like,
I went and listened to her read it because Tony said it was funny, and it was
dude,
funny.
it was like a 10-year-old girl reading the
Yeah.
hooker descriptions.
Like, all right, we got some working girls, you know, like.
The
Ooh, I like this
conversation-
idea. Someone said 80s kung fu. And we go back to the past. That's another good one, dude. Kung fu movies,
Oh, yes.
like Chuck Norris and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be a good
Like
one.
ripping
For,
people's chest hair out.
Yeah, dude. Everyone with fucking hamburger meat hanging out.
dude, 2027 Kung Fu.
Yeah, I like that. The stage with the hookers.
I would, for that one, I would do the big Afro guy. Remember the big Afro guy?
You're gonna go as blackface.
I would have to, right? I don't think I would get. I think this is probably KB would probably be the only place I could get away with that.
Kung Fury.
Let's find out.
Ethan.
Yeah, I love that, dude. Kung Fury.
Or I could do the Chappelle crackhead guy.
Yeah.
Man, we've never had a petting zoo.
You don't know how many times that Coco had mentioned the petting zoo at registration Saturday morning. It's hilarious.
Interesting.
Oh,
Only
That'd
fancy.
be a great one. Everything has a paywall.
Yeah. Everyone's got to be barefoot, right?
Oh, and do feet pics of everybody at the
Yeah.
very beginning. And do all the judging based on the feet pics.
All right. Well,
that's too much.
I have a little video that I wanted to end the stream on. I'll show it to you guys really quick, and then maybe we can have a few closing thoughts. But yeah, let me just show you here.
I was like, wait, what are we watching in a second? And I was like, oh, yeah.
He forgot his phone was on, huh?
Yeah, and he still posted it. Though. He still.
Is that his normal walk? He's walking around kind of weird.
I love the.
Look at that.
I love the
shit.
description. PPS 43,
Fuck me.
nice shooter.
He's still recording.
No.
Yeah, and he still posted it.
He posted it like that. It's still up today. I need a favorite.
Oh
that.
my god,
Still up today.
that's freaking
PPS
crazy.
43, 9mm, nice shooter.
Nice shooter.
That's why no one needs to take over his account because we don't get posts like that anymore.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. A real gem.
Well, we'll go around, do some final thoughts, and then we can get the hell off of here. My final thought is I had a great time. Had a great time with all of you guys. Had a great time working with Tony and Rodrigo in the background, and it was awesome. I'm so glad we had some new blood this year. We had new vendors. This is probably the 1 year shit. If you look at like the last 3 years, we had a major shakeup with vendors, a lot of new vendors this year. And that was, I think it pumped a lot of life into the place. A lot of first timers, new bands, new prizes. It felt like a new event. I felt really proud of it. And even though the whole time the weather was really playing with our emotions, in spite of the occasional bad weather, I still feel like it's the most organized, most awesome one we've ever done. So I'm super proud of it. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And that's due in part to all these people in the comments and everyone that came out. Such an awesome crowd. I heard so many stories, so many teary-eyed stories of people talking about how much fun they were having. So it was a good year for me.
You're up, Jacob.
Oh, okay. No, I had a great time. It was absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed it. And I guess the big question is, Clay, is there going to be a lethal weapons this year?
I will probably cover that in the future soon.
Because I see it all in the comments earlier.
Yeah, we'll make a post about it soon.
Hell yeah.
We always love the suspense. We love leaving everybody in suspense on this stuff.
I like to wrestle. What about you, Rodrigo? I'm sorry.
No,
Jesucristo.
Jesucristo. Hey, I lost the hair. It was getting super hot, man. I was getting so itchy. Man, I would say I've been to 3. I was so scared to go to KB because I was scared. It was one of those things where, like, if you just look at it on its face, you're like, oh, I'm so scared. I'm scared of what's going to happen, you know? So I've been to 3. This has been by far the best one, man. This has been the best KB ever. And I think if we didn't have the crappy weather, oh my God, this thing could have been, because I think we missed out on a lot of people, a lot of the fair weather people. We missed out on all of those. But overall, I think we do a little tweaking. We go back to the drawing board. We do a little tweaking. Man, next year we can make this thing even better. And I had a blast. Love working with you guys. And to me, it's like what they say is like, if you do what you love, it's not really work. That's how I feel. So it was awesome.
Yeah, the piggyback kind of, because I didn't get to say it earlier. I mean, just the people, I think, you know, KB is kind of special because I go there and I see people I haven't seen for a year. Because, you know, I live in Louisiana. I don't see a lot of people. I see y'all sometimes, but like going there and just seeing everybody, it's just like we just left KB the year before. And it's like we just pick right back up and it's just a good time.
Yep. I'd have to just kind of echo everything that everybody's saying. I would say that this year, the things that you guys changed ended up being just really, really great for the people who, you know, shoot Friday. Getting to come out and camp on Thursday is a huge help. Doing the awards on Saturday was really, really nice. I would say that next year, if you guys could not order the wind, that would be cool. But outside of that, I would say for me, the temperature was perfect because I came from that, and every year I'm just like, oh, it's so hot down there, and it's just going to wear me out. But it was like I went from, you know, like 60 degree weather down there. It was hot one day when we were shooting, and then it cooled off. So that was just fine with me. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing the Typo Negative cover band next year. So let's go ahead and get that lined up, and we'll be well, I can't wait for next year. One of the things I want to throw this out here, just to say how important Kalash Bash is to me, is the fact that later on this year, I'm going to end up getting laid off from my job. And I know that probably next year, my time will be extremely limited, but KB will be at the very minimum the one thing that I do. If I have to miss out on, you know, AK Masters or Kalashnikon or any of the other events that I want to go to, that's fine. I have to be at KB, and I will do anything. If I have to quit my new job, I will do that just to be at KB. So I can't wait for next year.
Well said.
That'd been funny if Clay was like, well, announcement, no KB next year.
Oh, damn.
Nope.
You know what? Like we're so lucky that we get to do this. Like of all the things that we could be doing something that's not interesting to us. It could be something that like has very little like on our radar of interests. But the one thing that like brings us all together and that we get to enjoy to do, we get to throw this like massively cool ass party. We get to hang out with fucking cool people from all over the country. That we're so fucking lucky that we get to do this. And all of the coolest parts of Kalash Bash are things that came up from the needs of the attendees. So it's really on y'all. Like all of the coolest parts. Like I remember when Clay told me, hey, people want to camp. And I'm like, why? Like they're going to sleep in a tent? I don't get it. But then when I saw it, I'm like, okay, I get this. And now like the whole camp thing has taken on an entire life of its own. I remember when Hannah and AJ and her circle of friends all came all dressed up in costume, and we're like, what are they doing? And that has taken on a life of its own. All of the coolest parts of Kalash Bash are things that some attendee brought to our attention or got together with other attendees and started doing. And all of these things all happened organically. It's really, for Clay and I, we're really just trying to give y'all a place to do that. Like, that's really our job at this point, is to facilitate y'all coming and doing whatever it is that y'all want to do. Easiest way to put it.
Yep. 100%.
100%.
Thanks, Poppy.
Thank you,
Well,
Poppy.
with that, I think we'll tell everyone good night. And to those of you that came out, thank you. Hope we put on a good show for you. For those of you that didn't, hey, man, you're not getting any younger. You should really try to go to the next one. You really should.
Mm-hmm.
Thank all of you for coming on tonight. Jacob, I know we kept you up kind of late. I know you got kids.
No, it's okay. I don't know where they're at right now. I've been looking back and seeing.
It's awfully quiet over there. What's going on?
Yeah. I see my son's lights still on, but he's not in his room, so I don't know what's going on.
Well, thank you, Jacob, for staying up late. Thank you, Mark, for staying up late. Wherever Jesus Cristo went, tell him thank you. Rodrigo, thanks for being here tonight.
Thoughts and prayers.
Got another one in the books.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man. Thank you all for watching. And I think we'll see you all next time.
Yes, sir.
All right. Love you all. Bye.
All right. Love you. Bye.